Welcome to another Club World Cup Fantasy Deadline stream, and I have put the timer for 3 p.m. UK time because of what happened in the previous deadline stream where it locked in 2 hours before kickoff instead of 1, which is what it was supposed to be apparently according to the website and the app. But I just want to make that a big point because some of you might be caught off by it, and maybe in the previous deadline stream you were basically sleeping, you already locked in your team, but I would urge you to lock it in as soon as possible. I haven't made my transfers, and in terms of the wild card, I will probably try to set it up just in case I decide to just activate the chip and see what happens. But it was a disaster in Matchday 1. Everything that could have gone wrong did, in terms of, especially the players yesterday. Haaland, Gvardiol benched, Cambiasso was my final captain, and he was subbed off at halftime after being booked. Mbappe, my 12th man, didn't even play. And there were a few changes I wanted to make, and that would have gave me at least 10, 20 points, at least, in the last deadline stream. But because it locked in so early, I just wasn't able to make them. So it is what it is. I'll try to have fun with it, and I think I'm going to not really put too much thought into it and just see if luck is on my side. But what you see on screen is my current squad without making any transfers, but certain players are out of the equation. So Ashur will not play today, that budget midfielder from Al Ahly, who was subbed off after 15 minutes against Inter Miami in the Club World Cup opener. So he is definitely on the chopping block, but I've also got some rotation risks like Kerem Aktürkoğlu, even Erling Haaland and Gvardiol, as we saw, and Cambiasso I think was subbed off because of that yellow card he got in the first few minutes against Al Ain in that 5-0 win for Juventus. And yeah, I think with my defensive line, I was looking to go for some differentials with less than 5% ownership, but yeah, they all went up to over 5% before the deadline, and I wasn't able to make those changes like I wanted to. Jonathan Tah, for example, was one I was really looking at. Of course, the assists, it is what it is, but the scouting bonus is so important in this game, and I think wildcarding into a differential team can be a game changer, even for those that have started quite poorly, like myself. But let's get straight into your questions and comments as always, and I've got a lot of different graphics, even some videos which you might have seen already, but we'll get into that very soon. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the notification bell so you never miss a single upload live stream for Club World Cup Fantasy, FPL, and the Champions League. So David Fawn kicks things off saying, what are your thoughts on a -6 of Dumfries, Gnabry, De Arrascaeta, and Guirassy to Alberto Costa, Aktürkoğlu, Di Maria, and Mbappe? I wouldn't be looking to buy Mbappe. If anything, he's closer to a sell. He is doubtful for Matchday 2 due to illness, so I wouldn't be selling Guirassy to Mbappe, to be quite honest with you. So I'd stick to a -3 hit and make the other transfers. But even in the case of Kerem Aktürkoğlu, he might not even start because Benfica could rotate and still win quite easily against Auckland City. Geoboy says, could you list your top 5 Matchday 2 players as a 12th man options, please? I think that's a good segue for the goal scorer odds and stuff like that. So let's get straight into that graphic first, and then I'll move on to the others. But yeah, your messages won't be highlighted in this segment. In terms of the most likely goal scorers, we do have Pavlidis at the moment in top spot, Haaland, Aktürkoğlu, Mbappe, Bruma, Di Maria. So it's very Benfica-centric, as you can see. Kane, Guirassy, Dembele, Mitrovic, Lautaro Martinez, Esposito, Vlahovic, Leandro, Alvarez, Kokcu, and Marmoush. But this is with the assumption that all these players will start. And actually, I wanted to show you the top goal scorers. So if I can get that up as well of this tournament, Musiala is currently #1. That would also be quite nice. Hopefully this doesn't break anything. But yeah, even in the last deadline stream, there were some technical difficulties. I don't want to jinx it for this one. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, of course, the deadline was even worse, as you all know. But try to lock things in. I'm going to do my best to kind of focus on my squad. I haven't really thought about it too much since my team selection video yesterday. And I'll make a final decision about either wildcarding or making 2 transfers, maybe even taking hits. But that has to be locked in very early. There is no time for overthinking in this game. And to be honest, it's not really worth it. It's a game during the summer. Just, have a bit of fun with it. And you can get a good rank by going for differentials, which is the good thing about this game. So let's see if this can be updated very soon. And then, yeah, I can show you the top goal scorers as well. So has that done it? No, it hasn't. That's a bit annoying. If not, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to show you this graphic. So just give me a second, and I will show you this. So, okay, that should be it. For those in the UK, of course, it is boiling at the moment. It is quite rare for that to be the case, but yeah, we're having a mini heat wave in Europe, it seems, and the UK is not exempt from that for once. So that's pretty nice. If you live near a beach or something, which I bloody don't. So, yeah. Let's see if I can show you this now. Okay, so these are the goal scorers, the top goal scorers, very Bayern Munich-centric because of their easy fixture in match day 1. So Musiala is the only player who scored a hat-trick in the opening match day. Elise, Coman, Müller, Conceição, and Colomwani all scored braces. And then Mayulu, Enzo Fernandez, and then so many other different players scored only 1 goal. So it is early days, but that is the current list. And before I move on to other graphics, let's actually discuss a few different things. Now it's loading. That's amazing. I'm going to let this play out. I covered the goal scorer odds just a few minutes ago. So let's also discuss the clean sheet probability. So Benfica are top, facing Auckland City. Man City, Juventus, Fluminense, Inter Milan, and PSG are all in the top 6, with Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, Palmeiras, Los Angeles, Chelsea, River Plate, Porto, Al Hilal, and Monterrey. They're the sort of top teams, if you will. And in terms of the likelihood of winning this tournament, is pretty much what I discussed in the team selection yesterday. So the top 5 would be Real Madrid, Man City, PSG, Bayern Munich, and hopefully not Chelsea. So these I also covered in yesterday's video, so feel free to pause, rewind and all that good stuff. And I also kind of listed them out myself in that video, but there will be updated versions. So go to the website fantasyfootballpundit.com and you can see all these stats, so you can identify differentials and be very careful with players with 4 to 5% ownership, because they can easily rise above that threshold and not qualify for the scouting bonus. But hopefully these graphics do help you identify those sort of differentials that might be worth considering in every single position. The same goes for template picks, of course, that you just saw. And some of them can still be quite useful, but I don't think a lot of these template picks have really been worth it. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's done that, but there you go. I think I know the reason why, to be fair. But predicted lineups, I only made a few small tweaks from the updated version and all that good stuff from the last one, and that's when the deadline broke and people were calling me a robot and AI and all that good stuff. So I'll probably avoid going to that again. And for those that are unaware, this is how I did in match day 1. And to be honest, I'd rather not commentate over it. It was absolutely terrible. Yeah, it was horrendous, to be quite honest with you. I'm not sure why it's done this. Oh, okay. Wait, what? They're showing the stuff from match day 1, which is not really relevant at the moment. Yeah, okay, I'm going to update this. But yeah, once again, technology just being stupid. Not much I can really do there. Hopefully this will work. Let's see. Yeah, so this will be my Matchday 2 team selection, and you'll see my current squad very soon, but I haven't made any changes or transfers. And yeah, if you want to see how I did in Matchday 1, I can briefly show you, but I'm not going to really talk about it because it was an absolute nightmare. And I think there were some good picks, but also a few of them were just complete flops. Injuries, illnesses and stuff didn't really help. But my first captain will be Maura, and you're like, why are you captaining a defender from Porto who costs 4.1 million? Because this game is a bit stupid, to be honest. You just captain the first player in your team who features, and you can change it as many times as you want. I did cover this in my best wildcard team and my team selection in the introduction of those videos. So I made a big point of the deadline just to make sure, lock it in within the next 1 hour and 24 minutes just in case. And with captaincy, you can change it multiple times within the same day of a match day. So the rules were completely wrong on their website, and they have changed it from the World Cup format a couple of years ago. So that's why Maura is my first captain. Then I'll just switch to whoever plays next. It doesn't really make much sense, but there you go. It is the hand we're dealt with, and even with that sort of advantage, you could say, I wasn't able to get any captaincy returns. So it was a disaster, and I do thank Harry Kane a lot for that, for his disaster class against Auckland City in a 10-0 win, but not much you can do there. So I'm going to go back to my team. Graphics and stuff can be shown later as well, of course, especially when they actually work. And I'll be going through your questions in just a minute. And as long as you don't spam, your questions will be answered. But yeah, repeat questions may be skipped. Just be very aware of that, and we're all good to go. And I think this will also be fixed. Maybe the heat is just causing everything to not work, including the Club World Cup Fantasy game itself. I think the people are on holiday. So, I see what I did. Okay, that should be sorted now. All right, let's go through your questions. So David Fawn says, with maximum captain being pretty useless. Well, you say that, but if I used it in match day 1, I would have saved the 12th man chip, which would have been very nice, and I also would have gained 19 points from it. So it can be seen as a waste early on, but it does depend on the circumstance. If you are unlucky, then you actually could gain a lot from using that chip. So it all depends on the context, actually. And in that case, you would be fortunate, of course. I personally think the best time on paper is to use it later in the competition. This was covered in my chip strategy guide, and I did also discuss this in my last deadline stream, and I could go through the graphics very soon, but for now, I'll just stick with answering questions. Easy says, got 52 points match day 1. Yeah, same here. It was a disaster class. I'll be honest, as soon as the deadline kind of locked in early, I just thought, whatever, it is what it is then. If I couldn't make the changes I wanted to, then I'm not going to take it too seriously. Easy says, confirm transfer 1, Juan Martin or Messi to Pavlidis. The other transfer out, either Dumfries to Nuno Mendes or Kimmich, Rafael Veiga to Bellingham, Kvaratskhelia, Di Maria. I'd rather sell Juan Martin and keep Messi whilst buying Pavlidis too. To be honest, Easy, in any fantasy football game, whether it's UCL Fantasy, the Euros, World Cup, and FPL, you need a lot of luck. In this game, yeah, maybe, especially for those that logged in their team early. Of course, well done for doing that, but yeah, I think those that were still making changes were a bit hard done by, but I think every game is like that, to be honest. It's possible, Charcoal. I haven't made the decision yet, to be quite honest with you, and I haven't put much thought into this game. Yeah, my current plan is to use 2 transfers at the moment. To be honest, yeah, I think the deadline's at 3 p.m. based on what happened last time. So in 1 hour, 90 minutes, as you can see on the clock just below my head. Club World Cup dumpster fire 2nd round, says Gary. Yeah, that's a good way of describing it, to be fair. So the deadline is really 3 p.m. UK time? Yes, and I explained it in a lot of detail. Some people don't like it. Apparently, you can't call out FIFA for their mistakes. But basically, in the how to play guide and in the rules section on the website, it says that the deadline for transfers is at kickoff of the first game. So it should have been at 1 a.m. UK time in match day 1. But on the website, it said 12 a.m. So fair enough. We all stuck with that. Oh, wait, it's 11 p.m. So yeah, it's an absolute mess with the deadline. Just to be safe, lock in your team within the next hour and you should be good. Funny deadline again, says Paredes. Hopefully. That was the good thing about the last deadline stream. It was the latest one we've ever done. We've got a lot of memberships, mainly thanks to you. And yeah, people were calling me robots and AI and Muck from Severance, so it was fun. Who knows says, hey Dylan, my original draft had Otamendi, Di Maria, Foden. Sold all, which hurt. I forgot to change my captain as I was too sleepy and lost 14 points in the process. 12-man suggestion needed, top 3. I think Pavlidis would be up there. Vinicius would also cross my mind against Pachuca. Yeah, some interesting picks there. But I think Benfica would definitely be the standout. I still like Bayern Munich assets against Boca, but probably not as much as the others in terms of the fixture. Yeah, Erling Haaland, if he starts, would be an ideal 12th man as well. So I would say Pavlidis, Haaland, and Vinicius in no particular order. You might even go to Di Maria, for example. That's absolutely fine. Farah says wildcard or other chips. It just depends on the context of a team, to be honest. I was quite bullish on the wildcard in match day 2, and I still think it's a good strategy, but if not, you can use it in match day 3 to tackle rotation. I might just activate the wildcard and go for differentials to make up the lost points from match day 1. What would you use for this game week between 12th man or max captain? 12th man still, but in my case, it would have been much better to use the maximum captain in match day 1, so I do wish I used it, but I don't regret the decision, just the outcome. Is Samu a viable pick, seemingly how scoring into Miami were against Al Ahly? I think any Porto attacker looks decent. Into Miami, I know they kept the clean sheet in the end, but their defense is terrible. I don't think they'll keep another clean sheet in this tournament, to be honest. So, yeah, I think that's a good pick. The same goes for Rodrigo Mora, even Francisco Maura, more so from an attacking perspective. So, yeah, my answer is he is a viable option. De Arrascaeta to Conceição or Palmer to Kvaratskhelia? I'd go to Conceição and take a punt on him. Josh says, yo, Dylan, I did my transfers just in case. Yeah, good. I should probably do the same very soon, and I think I will. Just wanted to ask, is 12th man Mbappe sensible? Well, he's still doubtful. I'm going to cover the injury updates I have on screen. It covers Bayern Munich, Real Madrid a little bit, and Mbappe is still a major doubt due to illness. So I think it is risky. I'd rather go for Vinicius instead, personally. I wanted to do it ideally in the knockouts. I don't see a better option. Yeah, Rodrigo's decent, but I think Vinicius would take the cake. How comes you aren't choosing any Atletico players with 2 great fixtures? Well, I literally said this before. I haven't made a single transfer yet, mate. And also, if I do wildcard, I would be considering it. Maybe Julian Alvarez. He might not qualify for scouting bonus, but I think he's got the high ceiling in match days 2 and 3. Atletico will go strong because of their result against PSG in the opening match day. So Alvarez would be my favourite option, but I'll be honest, Atletico were poor in that game. They could have maybe equalised, to be fair. PSG had a bit of luck at times, but I think Atletico were really suspect defensively. Alvarez is probably the best of a bad bunch from a fantasy perspective. And by the way, Koke should start. He might even start over Lino. That could be on the left-hand side. So a 4 million midfielder starting for Atletico if you are interested, but I think Alvarez is the only one that's worth it. Be Honourable says, hi Dylan, would you go Haaland and Bellingham or Vinicius and Man City mid, and which one? Maybe someone under 5% ownership. Well, unfortunately, Foden won't be a differential for too long, not at least in terms of qualifying for scouting bonus, but yeah, good question to be fair. I mean, Haaland I think will start, but it isn't a guarantee. I would probably go for Vinicius and Foden right now. Yeah, Rabbi, so this is all covered in my how to play guide and stuff, and that's why in my last deadline stream I was showing different graphics to kind of answer multiple questions in one go, but in the end it kind of backfired on me anyway. But essentially, automatic subs will only take place if you don't change the captaincy and make no changes yourself. And you would also need a player to not feature at all in your starting 11, and then they would be subbed off automatically. That's the way automatic subs work. But my recommendation is to be in control of your team and make manual changes, and that includes the captaincy. And if you do that, then automatic subs will not happen. Is Palmer an avoid for the rest of the group stage? Well, he's been poor since January, if we're being honest, but Chelsea fans always seem offended when I say that. I don't think he's an avoid for the rest of the group stages, but he's not essential, and I think there are better options in that midfield, like Musiala, Elise. Not only are they better players in real life, but also they're getting the goal contributions more consistently than Cole Palmer in 2025. Gary says, graphic time. Yeah, I know you said that a few minutes ago. I will go back to them, especially since now I've been able to fix a few of the issues I had before. Josh says, also on a second point, your timer says 1 hour 30. Yes, because the deadline should be at 3. Based on what happened in the Matchday 1 deadline stream, locking in 2 hours early instead of 1 before the first game of the Matchday. Yeah, that's why I'm putting the timer there, just in case you aren't caught out like we were last time. Would it surprise me if the deadline is now normal and it's at 4 p.m? No, it means I'm going to go on for even longer. I'm probably going to, get dizzy from the heat and all that garbage, and also because this game is so amazing. So we'll see what happens, but I think the deadline will be at 3 p.m, and it's kind of telling that we don't know exactly when the deadline is. It's a bit of a joke. Do you think that Haaland would be a suitable 12th man pick? Yes. Now, it is a bit of a risk because he was benched in Matchday 1, and do Man City need to start him? Not really, but I think he will. Is Garassi a better option than Alvarez? Difficult to say. I think they both have appealing fixtures. I'd probably say Alvarez has the better one in Matchday 2. I would say no. They're quite level, and in fact, I might go for both of them on my wildcard if I am to activate the chip. Rainey says, hi Dylan, I already have Pavlidis and Aktoglu. Should I get Di Maria as a 12th man? I'd probably go for him as a 12th man because I don't like him for Matchday 3, unless you're planning to wildcard anyway. But in my team selection, which I'll show you very soon with the transfer plans, I am looking at buying Pavlidis and Di Maria and tripling up on Benfica, but I've got other issues in my team still, like Karem. Will he start there for Benfica? Also, I look at Erling Haaland and Gvardiol. Will they start? And I've also got a few underperforming players in my team. Possibly Wavy. I think Fluminense are a decent team, but I think in terms of a fantasy perspective, they might not be the most interesting overall. But I did highlight some of my favourite options from every single team in my predicted lineups video. So if I have a quick look at the notes I made a few weeks ago, the player I actually picked out from Fluminense, just give me a second whilst I find it. It is, yeah, I said, wait, no, I just went to someone else. Yeah, Arias is probably my favourite, less than 5% ownership, so he qualifies for the scouting bonus. He played quite well against Borussia Dortmund, and he was in my first draft, actually, of Club World Cup Fantasy. Luke Delucky says, I have a 5-minute walk from the beach, still too cold to swim though. Yeah, but that's the point, though. If it's really hot, you just go in, you refresh yourself. But yeah, enjoy it. I kind of wish I was near a beach right now, but it is what it is. What do you think of Kane to Alvarez for a -3? No. I wouldn't sell Kane for a hit, as bad as he was in match day 1. Goal M says, if you have to buy one PSG attacker and one Benfica attacker, whom? Doué and Pavlidis. Do you reckon Carlos Augusto starts for Inter again? Yeah, he got the assist in match day 1, and I think he will start again. But the minutes are always going to be a concern. They were under Inzaghi between both wing-backs, and I think they will be under the new manager too. Yeah, Dumfries could play, but he missed match day 1 due to muscle fatigue or muscle tightness. So we just don't know enough about that. I'd avoid him in terms of if you're buying, a player in on the wild card or with a free transfer. If Juventus beat Al Ain, wouldn't that make City players more interesting to invest? Well, yeah, they could be battling for top spot, but Man City are always going to be a headache in terms of rotation. So if you go for it, good luck. Even Foden, the man on the thumbnail, he could be another risk, but sometimes risks are worth it. Benjamin says, deadline going to be an hour early again. On my app in my zone, when you select the game to play, the deadline is at 4 p.m. When I go to my fantasy team, it says deadline at 5 p.m. It's just a joke, though. I mean, they haven't even given any communication. They didn't address what happened in match day 1 to at least add clarification and explain what happened. So basically, that's why I've got the timer on at 3 p.m. in the UK. So basically, in just over an hour, lock in your teams as early as you can. Unfortunately, we can't do what we do in UCL Fantasy, where we're kind of chill and we have until kickoff to lock in our squads, and we can't complain if we miss our transfers or captaincy. It's possible, Alexa, I might play my wildcard. I don't think I'll play the maximum captainship until the knockout stages, as covered in my chip strategy guide. Good day, Dylan. Do you know anything around Kalinoglu? Well, in my lineup videos, I did cover the fact he was an injury doubt, and in the recent week, he has been linked to Galatasaray, so there is a chance he doesn't play for Inter Milan again. I think Aslani will start in the midfield. Butcher says, hello, what do you think of this wildcard? Fabio, Di Gregorio, Garcia, Hakimi, Nuno, Silva, from Fluminense, Kelly, Arias, Elise, Di Maria, Aktakoglu, Doué, Garassi, Pavlidis, Colomwani. I like it. Just a few problems is about matchday 3. So not only could some of your players be benched and rotated at matchday 3, but you've also got triple Benfica up against Bayern Munich for the final matchday of the group stages. So be very careful about that. If you want to balance matchdays 2 and 3, you might need to make a few changes. But for this matchday in particular, I do like the look of it. So yeah, that question has been answered. Felipe, isn't Ashore confirmed out? Yes, I covered that before, that he's not going to play today, and I'll go through those updates now. I might as well, since some people are joining late and I don't want people to get the wrong idea. But before I do, let me show you my Club World Cup Fantasy League, and some of you are actually doing well in this game, unlike myself. So big up to those in the top 15, as you can see on screen, and you can still join the FPL Dylan Mini League. There's a link in the description. You can also check out my Spotify, leave a 5-star review. It goes a long way to supporting the channel. There's my Patreon, the Championships, Discord server, X, Instagram, and Blue Sky. And when I say X, I mean Twitter, not, girlfriends and stuff, not exes like that. That would be kind of weird if I did that in my description. So there we go. Next up is going to be the brackets. Yes, the bracket. So these were my predictions. I put Porto, Palmeiras, am I Portuguese? Inter Miami and Al Ahly in that order for Group A. PSG, Atletico Madrid, Botafogo and Seattle Saunders. Bayern Munich, Benfica, Boca Juniors and Auckland City. Chelsea, Flamengo, Los Angeles, and Esperance de Tunis. De Tunisia? I don't know. Inter Milan, River Plate, Monterrey, and Urawa Red Diamonds. Borussia Dortmund, Fluminense, Ulsan HD, and Mamelodi Sundowns. To be honest, I probably would put Mamelodi Sundowns higher, but that's too late now. Man City, Juventus, Al Ain, and Wydad Casablanca. And then Real Madrid, Al Hilal, Salzburg, and Pachuca. I also put a poll out on my channel, and I'm going to refresh this because more votes have come in. So will you wildcard or use free transfers? And most of you are going for free transfers this time round. So it looks like the wildcard in matchday 3 will be very popular. But I think if you have done poorly like myself, there is that kind of temptation to just wildcard and rip everything apart. So these are the updates I saw today. So Al Ahly will be without these key players for the clash against Palmeiras. So Ashore is one of them. I need to get rid of him. Coca and Tahir Mohamed. For Bayern Munich, Sasha Bowie will not start apparently, according to Maximilian, we'll call him. Maximilian, yeah, let's not say that, just in case. But Lima will start. He's out of position. He's a midfielder in this game, 4.9 million, but he will start at right back. For Atletico Madrid, Koke could start ahead of Samuel Lino tonight. Simeone could line up with a midfield trio of De Paul, Koke, and Barrios. And for Real Madrid, this is the quote by Xabi Alonso on Kylian Mbappe. I don't know if Mbappe will be back for the next game. We'll see. He wasn't doing well in the last 2 days. He's sick. And I can only imagine why, because I picked him as my 12th man. And yeah, I think he had enough, and so have I, of this bloody game. So when the lineup is out for Palmeiras and Al Ahly, I will cover that. So that will be in just over an hour after the deadline passes, probably. Probably. But yeah, that is all the kind of tidbits and news from the last day or two covered, really. There's probably going to be other stuff, but there's a lot of different teams as well. And a lot of it I've already addressed in my best wildcard team video. And of course, my team selection from yesterday. So now, if you really want to see how badly I did in Matchday 1, yeah, I'm not even going to say anything because I think this says it all. Both my goalkeepers blanked in Sommer and Armani. That can happen, you know. They're two of the most 10-play options, but they blanked bad options. But look, who did I captain finally? Cambiasso in a 5-0 win against Al Ain. He gets booked in the first half and he gets subbed off at 45 minutes. So it's just, you just got to laugh, otherwise you'll cry. I didn't sub on Gavardio because he was a substitute and didn't play a single minute against Wydad Casablanca. But at least I got some points by Maura, Svensson and Stanisic. But I was going to change all of them because they weren't eligible for scouting bonus by the time I was locking things in. Maybe I would have kept Maura, but not the other two. Mastantuono, Elise, and Doué. Certainly one of them performed in Michael Elise. And up front, Kane, Haaland, and Guirassy, all of them blanked. Mbappe, who was my 12th man, guess what happened? He didn't play. He's ill. He's sick of this game. So am I. Yeah, it's all gone to crap. So, yeah, he got 0 points as well. Absolutely amazing. Waste of a chip. The last time I used this was in the World Cup a few years ago, and Mbappe got me 9 points, but not this time round. Armani, Gavardio, Ashur, and Aktoglu all on my bench. So one of them didn't even play. Armani's clean sheet was wiped out in that 3-1 win for River Plate. And yeah, Ashur was injured in 15 minutes. He's now probably out for the group stages. And Aktoglu was a substitute against Boca Juniors. So on the whole, it was shit. If I'm being honest, it was absolute shit. I got 52 points and my rank is terrible, but honestly, it is what it is, right? These are my transfer plans, though, for Matchday 2 to actually get back on track. And that includes buying Di Maria. And yes, I've corrected the graphic from yesterday because for some reason I wrote Pavlidis. I think, yeah, something happened there with my application. But there you go. Ashur is going to be sold for Di Maria. But how do I actually make that transfer possible? Well, it does require a downgrade. And I'm not entirely sure about it, but Harry Kane to Pavlidis could work for Matchday 2 only. But I think those with Mbappe might be in a better situation because you probably just sell him instead, keep Kane, and I think Harry Kane will score in Matchdays 2 and 3, and I will regret selling him if I end up doing that. But yeah, I think Benfica going all in on them is a great strategy for Matchday 2, but be very careful on the wildcard because they face Bayern Munich in Matchday 3. So this would be my provisional team without using the wildcard chip and only 2 free transfers, no hits taken. And remember, in this game, it's a -3 for every additional transfer, not a -4. So I've got Sommer in goal, Stanisic, Maura and Svensson, Elise, Doué, Mastantuono, Di Maria and Kerem, Aktoglu, Guirassy and Pavlidis. It looks quite solid, right? Not the type that should be that low ranked in general. And Armani, Haaland, Gavardio and Cambiasso are on my bench. Will they actually play? We'll wait and see. But I think City assets, yeah, they'll probably get a start. Probably in Matchday 3, of course, against Juventus. But Al Ain is the one you really want them for in Matchday 2. With the captaincy, I covered this earlier. I'm going to go for Rodrigo Moura because this game, for some reason, just completely changed the dynamics of that chip, or the chip, of that feature of the game from the World Cup, where it was actually better. You can captain a player. Once they have played, you switch it once more to someone who hasn't played yet. And then once that new captain has played, that is it. Or in UCL Fantasy, my favorite system, you captain one player from every single day. No confusion. Everyone knows how it works. And here, you just keep changing it if you are able to. So there we go. It is what it is. And yeah, that is all that needs to be addressed there. I could show you my predicted lineups very quickly, but they aren't fully updated. So just so you're aware, I'm just going to let it play out and answer questions in the meantime. They're not going to feature on screen because they'll interfere with the graphics. And some of these teams will play a different formation. For example, Boca Juniors will likely play a 4-2-3-1, which Miguel Angel Russo, their new manager, typically does. And we saw in action against Benfica. And after this, I'll show you the how to play slides from that video and the chip strategy, what my favorite chip strategy is at the moment, and then just fully focus on my team and lock things in before this premature deadline. Harvey Burton says, would you go back going for low differential captain since we have unlimited captaincy choices? Yeah, I think so, especially if you're kind of chasing already and you aren't happy with how you did in Matchday 1. Giuseppe says, hey Dylan, thoughts on Pavlidis in for either Kane or Mbappe for a -3? For Mbappe, possibly, and that's only because he is a doubt because of illness. Otherwise, I would not be recommending that whatsoever. Di Maria as a 12th man looks really good, though. Warm greetings, Dylan. Shame Club World Cup Fantasy is a bust. I agree, Mr. Iceman. Waiting for the return of FPL. Any 12th man recommendation bar Kane? Well, Kane wouldn't really be up there on paper, but I think he's a solid choice. Elise would be a top consideration, but my favourites, as mentioned earlier in this stream, would be Vinicius Jr., Pavlidis. I think Di Maria is also up there. There was another name I also mentioned earlier. Yeah, I think Erling Haaland. I think he'll start, and he's a good option there. But sometimes you get the kind of like secondary or tertiary figure from a team. Like, for example, in Bayern Munich, you get Musiala getting a hat-trick off the bench and Koeman. That can happen sometimes, but you typically favour the talisman, which in that case is Harry Kane. Rainey says, if I already have Pavlidis and Aktoglu, yeah, that was covered. Yeah, any repeat questions, I'm not going to go through. What does the maximum captain do? I'm going to show you in the slide very soon, but essentially you just click it and you don't need to do anything. Your highest scoring player will become your captain. It's very simple. Di Maria, Aktoglu, or maybe both. I'd go for Di Maria. Gibom. Yeah, I'm not going to say the rest. Learning Portuguese. Well, I know a few words because I know Spanish, but yeah, my Portuguese would be completely off from the accent to the pronunciations and all of it. Congrats to the top 10. Exactly that. They've done very well. Lock in early, yes. Something I rarely do. I need to do it, though, in this case. So Mbappe, Haaland, Garassi for Pavlidis. Probably Mbappe just because of the doubt, because of illness. Vera, everyone gets 2 free transfers. There's no agendas or anything. The reason why you've probably got one is because you made a transfer after the Matchday 1 deadline. Yes, there is another deadline, unfortunately, but it's coming thick and fast. Do not be caught out. Must-have players on the wildcard. I don't like really saying must-have, to be honest, but I think Pavlidis, Di Maria, having at least one of them to target that Auckland fixture. I think one of Elise or Kane, and my favourite would be Elise. I'd go for a Madrid attacker, so it could be Bellingham. My preference would be Vinicius, though, up front. Yeah, essentials is not really a word I'd use, especially in this game, but yeah, those would spring to mind. I think Erling Haaland will start in match days 2 and 3, but you never know what's going to happen there. Mbappe or Kane to Pavlidis, that's been covered. Keep Kane or take a -3. I'd keep Kane. What do you think about Schleiderdrup? I see Di Maria being benched due to his age. Benfica has a lot of depth on the bench. You might be right, to be honest. And yeah, this game will have unexpected rotation, especially when a team like Benfica faces such poor opposition in Auckland City. So you might be right there, to be honest. And I would not be surprised if people activate the 12th man on Di Maria and get burned like that. But I think he'll start. It's his last tournament for Benfica. He's going to join my team, Rosario Central. So I think he'll end his Benfica career in style. Mina says, hey Dylan, would you sell Palmer and Dumfries for Doué and Hakimi, or sell Dumfries and De Arrascaeta for Doué and Alvaro Carreras, Benfica? Yes, I think I would, actually. Now, Palmer's still a good option, but Dumfries is doubtful, and you're bringing in some very good players. I prefer Pavlidis, Ezra. Dragoons 8 says, hi Dylan, -3 to go from Arrascaeta to Kvaratskhelia. That's a close one, to be fair. I'd probably say no. I mean, Chelsea aren't the greatest defence anyway. Thoughts on the best Al Hilal assets? Joao Cancelo. I was looking at Mitrovic, but he didn't play in Matchday 1. It was Leandro instead. But yeah, Al Dawsari is my favourite overall, and then Cancelo. Yeah, Di Maria is my favourite, Michael, as covered earlier. Yeah, Vera, you're mentioning random names. I'm not sure what the context is, but out of those 3, my favourite is Haaland still. Ehab says, hello Dylan, what are your thoughts on Samuel, Xavier, Fluminense right back, and Trent? Yeah, I think Fluminense have good fixtures in match days 2 and 3. They would be the favourites to win both of them. Trent is a little bit overpriced, I think, especially with Madrid's defensive woes this season, but he's got the attacking threat to compensate a little bit, but I still think he'll take some time to bet in. Would you sell Dumfries for a -3? Depends you're buying in, really. The thing is, you've got the ability to make manual subs, so you don't need to take a hit. Essentially, you could just have a 13th or 14th player replace him. But at the moment, I'd say no. It's not looking good for his starting chances, though. And if you just want to take a punt on Hakimi, I don't really blame you. It's a good choice. I'm just not a big fan of a -3 on a defender if you've got the squad depth. But for those that are asking, you know, how to play Club World Cup Fantasy, I'm just going to let this play out. I'm not going to read everything, though, because I've done it already in that video. But I'll try to pause it on the things that catch people out, so to speak, and then talk a little bit about that. So just very briefly, in Matchday 4 for the round of 16, we will get a 5 million increase to our budget, but we don't need to worry about that right now. All player prices are fixed, so we won't see any changes in terms of price falls or rises. Like in FPL, that's based on transfer activity, and in UCL Fantasy, it's based on performances and UCL Fantasy points. That is not the case here. So you can make subs between your starting 11 and bench players as long as you keep a valid formation. The captaincy can also be changed within a match day, but it has to be an unlimited number of times, or it can be done an unlimited number of times. It's not like we thought in the rules section. So only your starting players will contribute towards your matchday score, and once you sub someone out, you can't bring them back in. A locked player means that their team is currently playing, and an unlocked player is someone who hasn't played yet. So I'll be honest, it is kind of broken. I was able to sub out Ashur during Al Ahly's match, and you're not supposed to be able to do that, but I was able to do it straight after the Matchday 1 deadline stream ended. But essentially, that is what you'd normally get. Maybe they fixed it by now, but I don't think they have done. So we have a fixed deadline for transfers, but there's a rolling knockout or lockout system to manage team changes during a live match day. So you can have two players, or in this case, goalkeepers, playing on the same day, and you can start the one who starts first or plays first, and then sub them out for your player who is yet to play. So I gave one example there for Matchday 1. That's a bit out of date now, but who even cares at this point? If you want to change your captain or vice captain during a match day, you can do so as many times as you would like. This is taken straight from the website. However, you can only select a player whose team has not played yet, and any manual changes to your team during a match day, like a substitution or changing your captain or vice, will cancel automatic subs. And a very popular question I got recently in my videos is, if I, for example, captain Gavardio and he doesn't play a single minute, will my vice captain become my captain? The answer is no, because your vice captain will only become your captain if you make no changes in terms of subs or the captaincy. So hopefully that's crystal clear as well. I'll let the rest play out too. So automatic subs is like in FPL, but you would need what I just described. You can't make any manual changes. My recommendation is to do this sort of thing of being in control of your team. So you make substitutions, you take out your low scoring players for those yet to play on your bench, and you change the captaincy as many times as you would like. That is the best way to go about it, instead of relying on the vice captaincy and someone not featuring in your team. Now, there is a potential loophole. You could identify a budget player who plays basically in the final game of a match day, and you know he's not going to play at all. So you can essentially captain him, and if you've got like a decent vice captain, you essentially could just double your points very easily that way. So it is a loophole. I mean, am I surprised at this point? Not really. So with the chips, I mean, it's not really worth talking about too much. There is a chip strategy video as well, but Wildcard is essentially the same as it is in every other fantasy football game. You can make unlimited changes, and they are permanent. The 12th man allows you to pick any player you want as long as they aren't in your squad already, and budget and all that stuff and players per club does not apply with the 12th man. So you can go for 4 Benfica players in Matchday 2 if you wish. The maximum captain, I was asked about this earlier, just to reiterate. Once activated, you will earn double points from whichever player scores the most points from your starting 11, and this player will automatically be assigned the captaincy. So you click the button, you lock it in before the deadline, and that is it. You don't need to do anything else. With the mystery chip, I will cover it once it is announced, and in terms of the best time to use every single one of them, I'll show you very briefly in a little bit. So all chips except the wildcard can be reversed before the deadline. And it's very easy. There's a deactivate button, and you can access all chips by clicking the orange icon on your app or the FIFA website. A chip can be only used once, and multiple boosters can't be used at the same time. Yeah, I'll just keep playing it. 2 of the chips were in the World Cup Fantasy. So during the group stages, 1 transfer can be carried over to the next match day. So if you don't make any changes now, you will have 3 transfers for match day 3. You can't do this, though, in the knockout stages from Matchday 4 onwards, where we have unlimited transfers, and you'll also see very soon the transfers per matchday. You can exceed your transfer allocation for any match day, but each additional transfer will deduct 3 points from your score, but not 4 like you would get in UCL Fantasy or FPL. So once a transfer is confirmed, it is irreversible, and if you decide to make another change, that will eat up a transfer or go into hit territory. The points will be deducted once the deadline has passed and your players start scoring points. If you buy or sell players during a match day, they will not affect your current team. These changes will take place after the next deadline. So this is how things work. We get 2 transfers in match day 2 and 3, but like I said before, you can get up to 3 transfers in match day 3 by rolling this week. For the under 16, you get unlimited transfers. For the quarterfinals in match day 5, you get 4 transfers. For the semi-finals is 5. And for the final, you get 6 transfers. And to be honest, that might be overkill because you only need a starting 11 and the bench is completely irrelevant. And that's why I recommend using the maximum captainship later in this tournament in match day 6 or 7. With a scoring system, very simple. This is pretty much the same as it is in other games like UCL Fantasy, where you do lose a point for conceding a penalty. And in terms of assists, it's the same for every single position, so don't worry about that. For goalkeepers, it's +5 for a clean sheet. So if you concede 2 goals, or if your goalkeeper concedes 2 goals, they lose -1, the same as FPL and UCL Fantasy, and defenders also have the same system in place. A goal scored by a goalkeeper is +9. A penalty save is only +3 though, and every free saves is +1. So I'll leave this to play out. This is very simple stuff, but we have seen some inconsistencies. So midfielders have not gotten points for every 2 chances created. Maybe what they actually meant was 2 big chances created, because 2 key passes would be, I think a lot of players would achieve that in the midfield position. But every 3 tackles, I have seen that being added. So you do get a point for every 3 tackles there for a midfielder. And for every 2 shots on target, a forward is supposed to get +1. With bonus points, of course, the main thing to look out for is scouting bonus. So if any of your players has 5% ownership or less, and they score 4 points or more than 4 points in the match day, they will give you 2 additional points on top of it. So that has been tested, and it looks like any player with 5% ownership before the deadline does give you the scouting bonus points if they deliver more than 4 points overall. There's also the goal from a direct free kick, but yeah, it is what it is, right? I mean, that's quite self-explanatory as well. So after that in-depth analysis, the last thing I want to show you very quickly is the fixtures, and you can see all the teams here and the groups just in case you are unaware, and the power rankings, which I have discussed multiple times in my videos. I think Auckland City have actually lost points after their 10-0 loss against Bayern Munich. And this is really useful, by the way, the FDR, the fixture difficulty rating. So look at those with green fixtures for match days 2 and 3. And I think you've got some really promising ones there, like Borussia Dortmund, for example. And you could say Fluminense, Real Madrid. So definitely keep an eye out for those in the green zone for match days 2 and 3. And also, you can just rewind, pause, do all of that stuff if you wish. But I'm actually going to start locking in my team. And why the hell? What the hell? Oh, that's my fault. I'm going to go here. And if anything, actually, I'm going to go to the transfer section. I'm not going to leave this to chance. I'm going to lock in my team and be done with it. So what I'm going to do first is set up a updated wildcard team for those that are looking to play it this week. And I'm going to have that ready just in case I decide to play it late. Yeah, difficult one, Paredes. I'd probably sell Kane from those 2, but Haaland is the bigger risk from those options. Best Man City asset is still Erling Haaland if he actually starts, and I think he will. Yeah, Dembele is still injured as far as I'm aware there, Juniper. I would completely avoid him. So for those that are here, I appreciate it. Like this video, subscribe, all that good stuff. It goes a long way to supporting the channel. Our aim will be to get this to over 200 likes. Let's see how we get on there. But yeah, I'm going to lock in my team. Otherwise, I haven't really put too much thought into it, and I should. Otherwise, I'm not going to revert this situation. So Kobo, Armani, I'm quite happy as the 2 goalkeepers. I'm going to get rid of Svensson, Stanisic, probably Gvardiol, and Cambiasso. I'll keep Francisco Mara for now, and he can be my first captain if needed. I'm going to avoid Sacha Boey because, as covered earlier, reports indicate that Lima will start at right back, so avoid Sacha Boey at all costs. Based on that information, we'll see how that goes. I am still considering Otamendi, but unfortunately his ownership is, yeah, double what it was before. So people just looked at his points. He's facing Auckland. No-brainer transfer, unfortunately. So maybe I'll go about things a little bit differently here. So what I might do in this wildcard team is just go for a differential like Carreras, or perhaps go for Antonio Silva. I'll do that for now. So yeah, 2% ownership. Yeah, I'm going to go for Antonio Silva there. I'm also going to pick... Jonathan Tah's ownership will be more than 5%. Oh, it's not. Interesting. I might add him for now. Bacho, we'll see how he goes. Yeah, he's over 5% now. So things have changed over the last couple of days. Maybe I'll go for Marquinhos instead then. Yeah. And hopefully that doesn't mean his ownership now rises to 5%. That's the kind of bad thing about that rule, but it's a good idea in principle. Let's go for Colwill 2. I mean, Flamengo is a tough fixture, to be fair. I think Matchday 1 was the best time to invest. I think Matchday 3 looks good, but yeah, Matchday 1 isn't looking to... Or should I say Matchday 2? I think Flamengo could score there, and hopefully they do. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of Ashore. That's for sure. I'm going to get rid of Karem. Doué's a bit template, but good player. Elise, I'm quite happy to keep. Okay, so Di Maria, not a differential anymore. His ownership is 12%. It's a bit annoying. So, yeah. I like my forward line, to be fair. I do like it. My main issues are in the midfield and defence. I think I could survive with Sommer and Armani. But yeah, that defensive line is a little bit concerning, and the midfield is quite poor, I think. At least with... Well, at least the Shaw. Maybe I don't need to wildcard, but yeah, let's play around with this. I'm going to put Pavlidis here. Let's put him in. If this search engine actually works, that'd be great. I'm also going to put Arias as a differential midfielder. Yeah, and then it becomes a bit tricky, I think, to lock in the rest. I mean, Bellingham, he's been poor this season. Phil Foden, do you go there with Pep Roulette? Double up on City? It is a bit of a risk. I might just go for Foden for now. And I would like a second Benfica player. The triple up is it's a problem for Matchday 3 against Bayern Munich, though. That's the only thing, but yeah, for now it will do. Okay, and only 9.2 million to complete the rest of this team. I might even double up on PSG, so I could go for Pacho or Hakimi. Nuno Mendes won't be a differential, so it's not really worth it, I guess. Let's check his ownership. Yeah, wow, he's fully template. Jesus Christ, it's even worse than I expected. So yeah, I'll put Hakimi in there for now, and I don't have enough money for the last player, but I can tweak a few things here and there to make it work. So yeah, Erling Haaland, I still think I'll keep despite the disappointment of Matchday 1. Yeah, Doué might be on the chopping block. I know PSG are worth tripling up on. So yeah, there's a few things to iron out now with the wildcard, and you know, Dumfries and Mbappe were kind of locks for that initial wildcard team, and now, yeah, they're both potentially out of the equation. So a few things to work on here, but in terms of normal transfers, that will be a lot simpler. Okay, no, I need to get another tab open. So just give me a second. So let me make these two transfers. I have it ready. So that will be Kane. Yeah, Kane out for Pavlidis. And go all out on Benfica. And then Ashore to Di Maria. But unfortunately, no players are eligible for scouting bonus in this squad. That's the biggest weakness, I think, of making 2 free transfers. Then it doesn't look too bad, I guess, but yeah, scouting bonus is really important in this game. So, yeah. Let me know in the live chat what you think. Do you think a wildcard is worth it in my case? And are you going to be activating a chip this week like the wildcard? But, yeah, this is my current squad, and I could bring in 3 Benfica players, or make it a triple up anyway. Let's see if I can complete this wildcard squad, though. Like I said, I don't want to leave it too late. I usually just focus on your questions and then make late changes, but yeah, I think I should probably focus on my team a little bit more. So hopefully you do understand, and a lot of these questions have been answered anyway, and I will cover a few more very soon. But yeah, having a few issues, I think, with the last defender, and also with 1 or 2 midfielders, actually. So yeah, by going for Foden, it does make it more difficult to afford this 50-man squad. Originally, I did go for someone cheaper in this position. So let's see. I'm going to get my original wildcard team and see if I can maybe improve upon it. Okay. Oh, that's not. Okay, let's see if I can transfer that. Okay. Hopefully that airdrop doesn't cause any issues with the stream itself, but who knows at this point. Okay, so yeah, Garcia, I do like Garcia in the defensive line. You could even go for Garcia up front. Very cheap forward there for Real Madrid, whilst Mbappe is out. Yeah. And then 6 million for the last midfielder. Yeah, not really that enthused about that. Yeah, doesn't look great. One thing I'm actually considering is going for Alvarez as well. He's not a differential in terms of less than 5% ownership, but I think that could be really handy. And then it gives me 8 million. And then I would only need 0.2 million more to afford this 50-man squad. But I do like this. It's a little bit different. In terms of scouting bonus, you would have Garcia, so 1.2% ownership. You would have Antonio Silva and Marquinhos. It's not a lot, but it's better than what I currently have. And yeah, Arias is the other one. So 4 scouting bonus potential players. That's looking fairly decent. I'll look at that in a little bit. Will Barcola start? It is possible. It's between him and Gonzalo Ramos for that final forward spot, but yeah. Not necessarily Paredes. I'm still debating it myself, but I'm not sure if it's actually worth it. Yeah, Stanisic is now 4.3% owned. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because they didn't get the big points of, you know, Jonathan Tah and all that. So I've got 1 scouting bonus player in my original team. Yippee fucking do. So yeah, with this squad, by making 2 free transfers, I would have 1 differential. Svensson is just above, so same with Cambiasso. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. But in terms of like the overall team, without thinking about scouting bonus too much, if they actually start, I think that's a decent 50-man squad, in my opinion. I think it just severely underperformed in Matchday 1. So yeah, I'm going to try not to like let the points, you know, affect my judgment too much. Paredes says, I don't really see the scouting bonus so important. Just 2 points. That is true. The thing is, if you have 4 or 5 scouting bonus players and they all deliver more than 4 points, that is a nice little boost to your score. But I get your point. What are the odds? You are going against the odds that are against the odds. I think 2 points are not enough. Yeah, in isolation, you are right, I think. I just like having the scouting bonus, and I'm kind of looking at it from a lens that I wanted to make more changes before the Matchday 1 deadline. And a few of those, like Jonathan Tah, not only got 2 extra points, but they actually got 5 extra points, you know, because of assists and stuff like that. Why didn't Llorente get scouting bonus points? It has to be more than 4 points, Lager. He only got 4 points as his base score. He needs to get 5 or more. So really, in the website, it should just say 5+, but it just says more than 4 points, so it can cause some confusion, I guess. No, not for me, Raffle. Griezmann hasn't scored in 17 consecutive games. I think Alvarez is better. Maybe he ends up scoring. I mean, that's the kind of tournament this is, where, you know, you get random outcomes and stuff like that, but I just think overall Alvarez is the better pick. Salim Al-Dawsari is 5.6. I like him. That's a good shout, to be fair. I like that. I've gone for that front 3, says Luke. Yeah, I mean, the premiums weren't really on it in Matchday 1. Mbappe obviously missed out due to illness. Vinicius did nothing. Harry Kane, I can't get over the fact he did absolutely zilch in a 10-0 win. And then, yeah, Garassi, I mean, it's not really premium, but a lot of them were a big letdown. 5.9 million to upgrade Mastantuono for Matchday 2 only. Yeah, Al-Dawsari would be a good one, as mentioned just a few comments ago. I do like that pick, to be fair. If I am to go for a player of that price tag, I think Al-Dawsari would be under consideration for sure. So in this setup, let's see if I can make this work. So yeah, instead of Doué, I might go for Al-Dawsari. And his ownership is... No, that's the wrong one. It's Salim. Yeah, he isn't a differential, but as Paredes says, it's only 2 bloody points, right? And that's if he gets more than 4. And then with 2.4 million, I can upgrade one of Alvarez or Guirassy to Haaland or Harry Kane. So I do like this. It's a good wildcard squad, but there are some issues for Matchday 3. That's my main concern. I'll be honest, I think I'm going to stick with the 2 free transfers at the moment. So Di Maria and Pavlidis, it would also leave me with 0.7 million in the bank. That's odd. I thought it was 0.6. Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, I think that's the kind of route I'm going to take and see if I have better luck this time. I would go for Di Maria there, Harun. You're going to need the wildcard next match day to transfer out triple Benfica. Yeah, that's what I mean. Or if not, you use 2 free transfers on getting rid of those Benfica players. Mbappe hospitalised. Well, hopefully he gets well soon, but fucking hell, I picked a bad time to put him as my 12th man. Pick Cucurella. He is quite template though, and I think Flamengo could score. Is Alberto Costa a regular starter? Well, not necessarily, but in recent matches he has been getting more, you know, I was going to say a Spanish word, that doesn't make sense, but he's getting more starts. He's just not nailed on per se, but I think for matchday 2 he will get a nod once more. And he's got really low ownership. He's a 4 million defender. Yeah, Valentino, I get that. Will Aktoglu start? It's not a guarantee. That's why on the wild card I wouldn't go for him. He had fever, but he should be good to go now. Yeah, I don't know where people are getting that from. If you have a link, then drop it in the live chat and we can go through it. Yes, I think Haaland will start this time, but it's a double-edged sword, right? If you keep him, he doesn't start, you're frustrated. If you sell him, he starts, he's probably going to score a brace or hat-trick. So it's really fine margins, and hopefully Pep doesn't screw us over again. Yeah, Salim is over 5%, I know, I covered that. Best midfield option for under 8 million. I think Di Maria for matchday 2, if he starts, that's the big question. Why didn't my 2 did not play players get subbed out for the bench players? If you change the captain, mate, that will not happen. I covered that in the slides earlier. Just check out my how to play guide and everything is covered. The only things that are inaccurate because the game is stupid and they didn't get the website right is the captaincy and deadlines. But essentially, if you make a captaincy switch or make any changes with your subs, automatic changes will not happen. That means your vice captain can't become your captain, and you also won't have a player who does not play get subbed off automatically. So hopefully that's clear. Hi Dylan, what do you think? Gula to Arias or a Kanji to Palmeiras? I think that's Piqueres guy. Yeah, the left wing back. Good question. I'd do both, even for a hit, to be honest with you. We don't know how long Dumfries is out for. I wouldn't go for the other Al-Dawsari. He plays as a holding midfielder. The only one I like is Salim Al-Dawsari, the left winger. Pavlidis or Kolomuani? Pavlidis. Guirassy or Alvarez? I'm going to go for Alvarez. Hakimi or Nuno Mendes? Both good, but I'd go for Hakimi. Is Bellingham actually worth it? Not recently, no. The same goes for Palmer. Really not sure what to think of him. Seems like Elise and Musiala are much better options. I agree, but let's also, let's not forget that Auckland City can make anyone look world class. I know Musiala is, but yeah, I think we are maybe a bit, hyped about them because they scored braces and hat-tricks against the worst team in the competition. Brandt or Neto? Brandt. I like Samu Agoa. I was asked about him earlier, by the way. Vitinha or Conceição for Madueke? Conceição. Bring in a third Benfica player for a -3. It depends which Benfica player this is, but remember, you don't want to have triple Benfica in matchday 3 against Bayern Munich. So if you are wildcarding in matchday 3, then sure, go for it. But it also depends on which player you're buying. So I was asked this a few times today. So Vinicius Jr., Haaland, I've mentioned these names before. They would stand out. Unfortunately, Mbappe is a big doubt for matchday 2, so I'd probably avoid him. Di Maria, Pavlidis, they're all solid against Auckland City. Yeah, Fabrizio tweeted about Mbappe. Thank you. I'll have a look. Milinkovic-Savic does have less than 5% ownership, but I think Al-Dawsari is a better option. But yeah, because of the scouting bonus, it could be worth a punt. Let me check this tweet then. Yeah, Real Madrid announced that Mbappe has acute whatever and has been hospitalized for various tests and treatment. Yeah, based on that, you don't expect him to start at all. What a waste of a 12th man that was. Jesus Christ. But yeah, that is all confirmed. Arias, Otamendi or Alvarez 12th player? Alvarez. Who do you think are the best options for the 12th man covered? Do you think Stanisic is starting against Boca? Yes, I do. Gary says no clock. I'm on the transfer section, mate. When I go to the other section, you will see the clock. But basically, in 31 minutes, we're going to lock him. Francesco Ramos says, hola Dylan, ¿crees que Benfica juegue con todos sus titulares? Creo que no. Eso es el problema cuando un equipo como Bayern o Benfica juega contra Auckland City, que lamentablemente es muy malo. ¿Quién crees que sea la mejor opción para el jugador de 12, el 12th man? Sí, como dije en inglés recién, Pavlidis, Di María, Erling Haaland si empieza el partido, Vinicius Jr., pero a veces es un jugador que no espera, como Kingsley Coman en la jornada 1 o Thomas Müller, que es la estrella sobre Harry Kane, por ejemplo. Pero sí, creo que esos 5 son buenas opciones. Who to replace Kane or Haaland or Guirassy for who? They're fine to keep, to be fair. Unless you think that Haaland won't start, then you can replace him with Pavlidis or Alvarez. Yep. So 12-man questions, I get it, it's popular, but I've covered that to death. Why no Hakimi or Nuno Mendes? I haven't made a transfer, mate. Let's calm down a little bit. Who's the best goalkeeper I could play? I have an extra 2.8 million. Koba would be up there. If I'm wildcarding, he would be one of my top picks. For Matchday 2 only, I think Trubin and Sommer are solid. Brandt, Conceição, Mora, or Arrascaeta. For Matchday 2, I would say Conceição. Hey Dylan, do I replace Gavardia with a Benfica defender or a Shaw with someone else? I'd replace a Shaw. He's going to be out for Matchday 2, and you'll find out very soon. I'm not sure, Joao, if Ait Nuri starts, but these new signings should get game time. I think Ait Nuri will start one of these games in the group stages, but I couldn't really guarantee you that will happen against Al Ain. I cannot activate the 12th. What is this? I will not be surprised about that, mate. Conceição, Icolomouani, or Kvaratskhelia y Guirassy. Yo prefiero Kvaratskhelia y Guirassy. Who's the best goalkeeper I could play? Covered. Pavlidis 12th player good? Yes. And on that note, Mbappe out for a -3 or however much it is? Yes, it is a -3. And I think Alvarez, Guirassy, Pavlidis are 3 of the best replacements for him. How severe is taking 3-point hits for Mbappe transfer out? Or should I just use the wild card? It's not that severe, I think. It's not ideal because it's a short format. You'd rather avoid hits, but yeah, I think the wildcard could be really helpful in Matchday 3. You can trim down your Benfica players against Bayern Munich whilst having 3, maybe 4 if you use the 12th man this week. So that could be a nice way of using the wildcard instead. Captain Guirassy or Di Maria. Okay, just to make this clear, captain the player who plays first. So that's why I've currently got Rodrigo Moura captain. That's the way it goes. So let me show you the fixtures and I'll give you an example. So let me actually get this up again. Let's go through the fixtures one more time. So the first game of Matchday 2 is Palmeiras against Al Ahly. You can captain a player from that game, let's say Piqueres, the left wing back. Then you switch it to Messi against Porto. Then you switch it to Alvarez against Seattle Saunders. Then, guess what? You can switch it to a PSG player against Botafogo. By the way, if they play at the same time, you can't do that. But as long as they play at different times, you can switch to captaincy. So basically, in your case, what was the question, or the 2 players you mentioned? Guirassy and Di Maria. So Guirassy plays on the 21st of June, whilst Di Maria plays on the 20th. So what you do from your situation is captain Di Maria first. If he doesn't do well, or you want more points from your captain, then you switch it to Guirassy. But guess what? If you've got players in between, from Flamengo, Chelsea, and all this stuff, you can captain those players before you even get to Guirassy. So hopefully that makes sense. The game is a mess, I know, but in the last couple of videos, I have made it very clear how the captaincy works in this game. I said that, Valentino, yeah. Lima will start at right back, according to a report from a German journalist. Yeah, Alvarez 12th man looks very solid. Yesterday, I really changed Kane for Pavlidis and left Mbappe. Yeah, I get that. There is kind of like a fine line between being too early and then waiting for information. But I did say from yesterday that Mbappe, is doubtful for Matchday 2, so he is a big risk. Best captain, yeah, I just covered that, Yusuf. And it's honestly, the captaincy does not matter in this game. What you do is just captain your first player who plays, and I just covered that. So I'm sorry, but I'm not going to go through that again. So I'm going to go now to my team and lock it in because I'm not going to get caught out once more. Keep Cambiasso or -3 to swap for any PSG defender. I'd keep Cambiasso. I speak Spanish at home. It's not as good as my English, but it will do. Third Benfica player for a -3. Di Maria, Pavlidis, and the question, I mean, the third one is a bit tough, and there could be rotation, but I think Karem will start if that's worth anything. Dumfries is not 100% out, but he is doubtful. 12-man activation seems broken. So Lager is experiencing issues with this. If anyone else can't activate the 12th man, then let me know in the live chat so we can hopefully clear this issue up. Guess what? The game made me use the wild card instead of activating the 12th man. I am done. This game's a joke. I'm not going to lie to you. I think Hallam will start Larkin, yeah. Yeah, we only have one wild card, Charlotte. The same goes for every other chip. So let me just quickly show you my how to play guide and all that and the chips. Actually, I'll show this. Let's go to the chip stuff first. So, yeah, this is a summary of every single chip. Feel free to pause whenever you want. So all chips except the wild card can be reversed before the deadline. Yeah, unlike Lag, who's experiencing issues of the game, clicking like the wrong chip and stuff like that, you can deactivate every single chip except the wild card, and it should be fairly simple. A chip can only be used once, and you can't use two of them at the same time. And in terms of the best time to use every single booster, that will be covered very soon. You've got a breakdown of every single chip in detail here. The wildcard in particular, which is the most popular and powerful chip in the game. You've also got pros and cons list here, which I've covered in my chip strategy video. So my recommendation is to use the wildcard in Matchday 2 or 3. The 12th man between Matchdays 1 and 3, although I wasted it completely. The Maximum Captain can be used well in Matchday 1, 2, and 3, but I would say Matchday 6 or 7. And the mystery chip has to be used in the knockout stages, and at the moment I would say Matchday 4 or 5, but we'll find out more when it's actually announced, which will be after the Matchday 3 deadline and once the transfers for Matchday 4 are available. So you can see my breakdown of the best windows to use every single booster, but it can interchange. So for example, you can get a lot of points from the Maximum Captain by using it now and using the 12th man later in the competition, but I think that's the best sort of structure with these chips. I've wasted one of them, but I think a lot of bad luck was also in play with Mbappe being hospitalized. I mean, how the fuck am I supposed to expect that, to be honest? But there you go. It's a bit of fun, apparently, this game. So I'm going to lock in my team, finally. I'm sick of this, so I'm going to just get this done. Let's go to the transfer section, and I'm going to buy Di Maria and Pavlidis now, just to get one of them benched, or maybe both of them, because this game is brilliant and teams like to rotate in the Club World Cup. So that will be fairly simple. I am considering a -3, to be fair, and that's where I could sell a defender. Maybe. I mean, I think the forward line is fine as it is, to be honest. Selling Kane to Pavlidis is not ideal, by the way. I think that could really backfire, but let's see if I can find a different way. So if I were to just avoid Pavlidis for now and keep Kane, I just wouldn't be able to, because selling Gavardio would give me 3.6 million in the bank. Then I would have to take a hit. Yeah, it's just not really going to be worth it. It's better to just sell Kane or Haaland to fund that Di Maria transfer. That replaces a Shaw, of course. A different way of looking at it, though, is to go to Arias, maybe. And then I could just sell one of these players, maybe Cambiasso or Gavardio. So yeah, Gavardio to just be anyone, to be honest. Does it really matter? Not really, but yeah, Antonio Silva. You know, it's not maybe the ideal way of covering Benfica, but yeah, I got exactly enough money to do that. It gives me 2 scouting bonus players. I'm going to put a poll out and I'm going to lock things in. So let's see if I can actually set it up without any issues. So in the last deadline stream, I gifted 10 memberships and Paredes gifted 50. So every month I will be gifting 10 memberships, so keep your eyes peeled and you can earn it for an entire month there. So let's put this poll out. Which transfers do you prefer? So I'm going to put wildcard. I'm going to say, what was it, Antonio Silva. So Gavardio and a Shaw. Let's get the emoji up. Wish I can't do it here. So if you haven't already liked the video, I've shown dozens of graphics, and after watching this, you'll have a lot more information. Yeah, I think you'll be well prepared for Matchday 2 as well, with all the injuries, illnesses, and things that are going on. So, Gavardio and Ashore to Silva and Arias. Just about enough characters, thank the Lord. Yes, Katarina, tackles do get points, but the key passes have not actually happened yet for midfielders. But I have seen midfielders being gifted points or granted points for their tackles. Maybe it's not a perfect system, maybe they're counting it wrong, who knows, but they are adding those points to the game, yeah. Yeah, Mbappe's in the hospital, yeah. Jesus Christ, I 12th man a player and he gets hospitalized. What next? Jesus Christ. The other one will be... Yeah. Let's put Kane. And let's put Di Maria and Pavlidis. I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm not going to overcomplicate it and say, oh, let me do this. Oh, no, let me do this. Nah. No chance I'm going to overthink this. So there you go. These are my 3 options for Matchday 2, if I can actually get this to work. And yeah, be sure to vote in this poll and let me know your thoughts in the live chat. I do appreciate it. Yeah, for some reason it's... Jesus Christ. Yeah, let's start that. I went for that super chat. Okay, that's good. Okay. All right, I'm going to be making my transfers or wildcarding very soon and then just answering your questions, but I'm not going to do repeat ones, so just be very clear about that. Hopefully you do understand. Okay. I'm going to also get rid of my pinned comment too. My fantasy aim is really bad. Imagine clicking the wrong chip. Yeah, but for the wildcard to still be active, you would have had to confirm transfers as well. That's the thing. Your prediction on Benfica? I mean, I think they'll win 5 or 6-0 probably. It's just about how strong they go. But goal difference is very important. And I think in terms of the, you know, Boca Juniors and Benfica fighting out for second, they'll take anything they can get against Bayern. But really, it's about building up that goal difference against Auckland City. So I actually think Benfica will go strong. And that's why I think going for Pavlidis and Di Maria could be a viable strategy here. I have a question. Can I not get a player that never plays? No, not really. So I explained this earlier. Someone yesterday was asking me about Gavardio because he was on the bench, and they said, wait, if I captain Gavardio, does that mean my vice captain will have their points doubled? And it doesn't work like that, because if you change your captain or make any changes like subs, that means automatic changes to your team like substitutions and captaincy changes, like your vice becoming your captain, will not happen. So hopefully that's clear. Which Madrid players would you say are the top picks for Matchday 2? Vinicius Jr., Bellingham, Fran Garcia. Is Gavardio surely not going to play? I never said that. It's just with Man City, you never know what you're going to get. When's the deadline? Me, I'll be honest, the answer is I actually don't know for sure. What happened in Matchday 1 when I went live is on the website it said 12 AM in the UK, and in the how to play guide or the rules section it said 1 AM, so at kickoff. But what we actually got was 11 PM, so 2 hours before kickoff instead of the 1. So based on that, I think the deadline is going to be locking in 17 minutes, which is why the timer, once you see it, is going to be very, very soon instead of 4 PM. But who knows at this point. Once 3 PM passes, I'll refresh one of the pages and see if the deadline has passed yet. But it's just an absolute joke, to be honest, and a lot of us have been caught out by it. Is it worth to take the 12th man chip now? I prefer using it in the group stages. So if you're not wildcarding now, I'd use the 12th man. I don't think Arias is on penalties, mate. He's more of an assister anyway than a goal scorer. Keep Gatti and Kelly, hoping they both start, or transfer one out for a -3. I'd probably keep both of them. I don't think any prizes are given by FIFA. Some people that I know asked FIFA. They sent emails, you know, saying, are there prizes? And they got no response. I don't think there will be one. So really, we're just playing for fun, if you can even have fun. Which Madrid players? Yeah, covered. Thoughts on the team, says Henry. I mean, Florentino can get points for ball recoveries, but not my favourite pick in Club World Cup Fantasy. Sasha Bowie will not start, so I'd be getting rid of him. Lima will play at right back, according to reports in Germany. The rest is really good, but Sasha Bowie is a no-go for me. Can you essentially change your captain basically as many times as you want? Yes. So just to make it clear one more time, for those just tuning in, Palmeiras Al-Ahly. You captain Piquerez from Palmeiras, then you can switch it to Messi from the Inter Miami Porto game, then you can change it to Alvarez, then to a PSG player, then you can go for Di Maria, then you can go for Parma, and guess what after? You can go for Hugo Lloris if you want to, from Los Angeles, then Bayern Munich Boca Juniors, you can go for Harry Kane, then for the next game you can go for Garassi, next captain, let's say Lautaro Martinez, after that you can go for Arias, then from the Sunday games, you might want to go for Mastantuono. Then you're looking at, let's say, Conceição, Vinicius Jr., Al Dawsari, and the final match, Erling Haaland. Now, obviously, you only have 15 players in your squad, right? But that's the way the captaincy works. It's just ridiculous. And there are loopholes, which I mentioned before. So what you can do, actually, is go for an Al Ain player, or just someone really cheap, who you know is not going to play at all. He might be injured. And you can basically captain that player and keep changing your vice captain, basically. And then once you've got that captaincy score locked in, you can then just have that automatically changed to your captain if you make no changes to your team in general. But that's not my recommendation in this game regardless. But there are some loopholes in this game like we got in the World Cup. Hopefully that is all crystal clear. But the deadline will be locking in, I think, very soon. So let's get things in order. Do not make transfers after 3 p.m. if possible. Maybe in the end, what I'm saying doesn't matter. Florentino's injured, says Gonzalo. Fair enough. Jamie says, thoughts on Wildcard with Sergio Ramos, Alvarez, Hakimi? Well, yeah, Ramos scored in the most difficult fixture that Monterrey have on paper. I think Alvarez is a brilliant option. Hakimi's template, so not the most exciting pick from that perspective, but he's got the attacking threat. So, yeah, really good picks overall. I like Alvarez, and he might even be in my final wildcard team, either in match day 2 or 3. Yeah, I think Gavardio starts, but I can't guarantee it. Thank you, Josh, and good luck. I'm not sure, Benjamin. I'm honestly not sure if Dumfries starts. It depends on the extent of the injury, but he missed match day 1 due to muscle tightness. Mbappe and Gavardio both sell. Mbappe, yes. Gavardio, honestly, I don't know. That's kind of teetering on the edge. I'd probably say hold. Garassi Alvarez or Alvarez y Colomuani or Garassi y Colomuani. Para mí, Garassi Alvarez. Also, Sanchez at 5% didn't get me scout points, but Di Gregorio on my bench at 5% got 2 scouting points. Okay, so the only defense I will make for this amazing game is, when you say they had 5%, was this before the deadline or was this after? Because I'm fairly sure it has to be before the deadline. So that's probably why one of them qualified for scouting bonus and the other one didn't. But yeah, it's a bit of a mess, isn't it? Hi, Dylan. Who do you think is the best 12-man chip? Yeah, I think the ones you mentioned are great options, but there's also Pavlidis. I still like Harry Kane against Boca Juniors, Michael Elise, Erling Haaland if he starts, and I think he will. So yeah, Haaland, Vinicius, and the players you mentioned are really good choices. My favourite would be Haaland if he starts, but that's a big if. Is Bowie to Kelly a good move? It's decent. You might want to go for Alberto Costa, though, on the right wing-back spot. Gavardio or Cambiasso to Otamendi? Difficult because both of them maybe aren't the most secure. I think Cambiasso was only subbed off because Juventus were winning easily. He was yellow carded, so they were able to make that early sub. So I'd probably sell Cambiasso anyway. I think Gavardio will get the nod here, but who even knows at this point? Vinicius, Bellingham, Kvaratskhelia or Alvarez for the 12th. I would go for Vinicius Jr. here. Took Mbappe out for -3 and bought Alvarez. I like that. I like Alvarez a lot. Luke says seagulls. Wait, don't tell me you can hear them. Or are you just saying seagulls because you're a Brighton fan? Yeah, that's why I've got my headset on. Like, I'm blocking out the sound because I've got the window open. It's bloody boiling in my room. It feels like 40 degrees. I've got a fan on as well. Hopefully it doesn't impact the sound quality. Okay, I have a problem. I'm captaining Dumfries and my vice captain is Elise and still can't get Elise as a captain. Why? You can't captain and vice captain a player. So in order to captain Elise, you will need to vice captain somebody else, mate. That's why you can't do it. But I just explained the way the vice captaincy works. If you're trying to do that sort of thing where you're captaining an injured player, so then you can have your vice captain become your captain, that won't work if you make manual substitutions or change the captaincy in general. So just be very wary about that. I live in the UK. Yes, and it's like 30 degrees here, but yeah, it's very humid. So It's very thick, and in my bedroom, for some reason, even in winter, it feels like 30 degrees in my room, or 25. Best defender this game, under 5%. Ip, dip, do, the cat's got the food, the dog's got the chicken pox, out goes you, Antonio Silva. That's really how this game should be played. Just have fun with it. Mbappe plus Jackson to Pavlidis and Haaland. Thoughts? I like that. Yeah. Jackson. I like that. I'd make those transfers, yeah. Guirassy, Haaland, and Pavlidis at the moment. 12th man recommendations. I covered that a lot, mate, but Haaland's my favourite. Since he's in your team already, you can say Vinicius Jr. or Di Maria. Hey, Dylan, your thoughts before locking up? Yeah, looks good overall. 2 budget goalkeepers. El Shanawi did very well in Matchday 1. Not too sure about him afterwards, though, but yeah. The ones to look out for could be Carreras, you know, in terms of minutes, and I think Benfica could rotate in 1 or 2 positions at least, but yeah, Palmer's out of form. It's a good squad overall, though. I'm kind of nitpicking. You're in a good place overall, I think. I'm not sure Ezra. That's what I said earlier. It all depends on the extent of his injury. Best match day to play the 12th man, as covered in my chip strategy video and in the slides earlier. Any time between match days 1 and 3. Of course, match day 1's already over. I'd say if you're wildcarding in match day 3, I'd use it now. What's better to own, Musiala and Guirassy / Alvarez or Di Maria and Kane? Over both match days, I would say Musiala and Guirassy. Oh, saw Twisted Parky's pick. I'm a fellow Brighton fan. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's just sometimes I have seagulls flying around and they're kind of annoying. I think Di Maria will play Twisted Parky, but who even knows at this point? Yeah, I will lock in, Gary. Thanks for reminding me. I'm probably not going to wildcard. It's an option, but I think it might be better suited in matchday 3, but who even knows at this point? The thing is, like, I could see myself wildcarding in 2, then having issues in 3, like triple Benfica against Bayern, and also having rotation happen there. And even some of the players for this week might be benched or something. So I think I'm going to just wildcard in matchday 3, to be fair. -3 to swap Mbappe for Kane / Alvarez. Yes, because Mbappe is hospitalized. A lot think not who else is more likely on top of Autokoglu. Oh, well, they can play together. They have done that a lot this season. There's Bruma, who can also play in Di Maria's position. But yeah, Club World Cup is a lucky dip comp. Yeah, but in every fantasy game you need luck. So yeah, I don't really think like this game necessarily takes more luck than other games or less skill. But I think the main issue, of course, is the deadline and also some rules kind of changing. So they're not adding points for key passes for midfielders. And you can also change the captaincy as many times as you like. And for me, that's a bit stupid considering what it actually says in the rules, which is the opposite. But let me lock this in. I'm going to make my transfers at least. And if I decide to wildcard, then so be it. I can then make a late change. But what I'm looking to do here, and in terms of the poll, thank you to those that voted, 57% have recommended Pavlidis and Di Maria. The second top option is the wildcard. And in third, with only 10% of the votes, is selling Gvardiol and Ashore for Antonio Silva and Arias. But yeah, I'm going to go for Pavlidis and Di Maria then and see how much worse this game can actually get for me because it's going tits up at the moment. So let's... yeah, I'm going to keep Gvardiol and I'm going to bring in Angel Di Maria. And I'm also going to bring in Pavlidis for either Kane or Haaland. And that'll be my final poll, I think, before the deadline, if it actually ends in 7 minutes. And that'll be, who would you sell between Kane and Haaland? I'm not going to include Mbappe in this because I think that's the one to easily sell. So let's put Haaland and Kane. So like this video if you haven't already. Our aim is to get this to over 150 likes at least and see if we can get to 200. Well, I think so, Fundles, but it's not a guarantee. Yeah, Bouanga's good. He's the best Los Angeles asset by far. I covered that in my lineup videos. Yeah, Dumfries missed out match day 1 due to injury, but I don't know if he's still injured. I can't really tell you. There's no information. Are there rules? No, there aren't. My transfer, or try transferring out Kimmich, but money too little. As a Benfica fan, don't trust too heavily on Di Maria. Same for Aktakoglu. Well, yeah, I learned that the hard way in match day 1, but it's just the Auckland City fixture. And in match day 3, I'll be getting rid of all my Benfica assets, I think. Apparently, other points like attempts are coming later. What? Yeah, but that's just stupid. I mean, well, whatever at this point. Let's just move on. Would you go for Alvarez, Maura, or Arias Esteval? Alvarez and Maura. Yeah. What was that? Mora. Be careful, because there's Francisco Maura, the way you spelt it there, the defender, but there's also the midfielder, Rodrigo Mora. But I'm guessing it's the midfielder, and I'd still go for the Alvarez route. So yeah, most people are saying Kane to sell, even though Haaland was benched in match day 1, but we don't think that'll be the case here, right? But yeah, I'm going to lock in these transfers and see what happens. Oh, wait, is the deadline gone? Is the deadline gone already? Surely not. Okay, let me just confirm these transfers. Yeah. Wait. Oh yeah, they put a different name for him, but yeah. So Shaw and Kane out for Di Maria and Pavlidis. So, yeah, let's lock it in. Yeah, my transfers didn't go through. They didn't go through. No, I'm joking. No. Thankfully, they did. Well done, FIFA. You actually were able to do... Well done. Congratulate everyone. Round of applause for FIFA. Wow, I actually could make my transfers. Fantastic. Let's see, though, if we can in 4 minutes. Yeah, that's the question. And that might have sounded a bit awkward. I don't think the claps actually were heard. Maybe I need to be a bit louder with them. But, yeah, 0.7 million in the bank. Let's just order this in terms of the date. So, Kerem, Aktoglu, Di Maria, and Pavlidis play on the 20th of June. As you can see on my bench, I've got Armani, Gavadio, Cambiasso, and Haaland. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to just put Haaland first on my bench. So yeah, that is sorted. I'm captaining Francisco Maura because he plays first. But if this game was actually working as it was intended, then what I would have done was captain one of Pavlidis or Di Maria and then switch it to Erling Haaland if needed. But in this case, I'm just going to keep changing it until I finally get a captaincy right. Yes, I got 0 points from Cambiasso match day 1. Very, very well done, Dylan. Nice. Even with this captaincy system, I still flopped completely. Yeah, thank you, FPL Rohits. I actually made this as a separate video. It's called How Club World Cup Fantasy Deadlines Actually Work. It's only 20 seconds, but yeah, I might just play that every time, you know, the deadline closes, because we just have this kind of like 85th minute, you know, let's end the game early. Foden did get his extra 1 point for chance created. Okay, thank you for pointing that out. Let me check it very quickly. Because if it is what I think it is, then they've made another mistake in the rules. So let me just double check this. So Phil Foden, let's check his stats. So he definitely got 2 key passes, but yeah, I think I know what it is now. This game, this bloody game. Okay, so I think what they've done is a midfielder needs to get +2. Sorry, they need to get 2 chances created, 2 big chances created. That's it. That's how they get the key passes point. So normal chances do not count. I think that's why Foden got it and not the others. Oh, we heard the claps. Okay. They might have sounded a bit awkward, but thank you for letting me know. You can see John Cena now. He heal. Yeah. If only we can have John Cena attitude adjusting Club World Cup fantasy. That'd be great. Thoughts on Arda Güler? Well, his minutes will be all over the place, but if he does start, he's a nice option for sure. I transferred out Bellingham for Di Maria, have Pavlidis 12th man, and Aktoglu. Is Svensson to Marquinhos a good second transfer for scouting bonus? Yes, and on my wildcard, I did have Marquinhos as one of my options. I think he's worth it over Pacho, just for the extra 2 points. Old man Kane is on the beach. Yeah, but come on, if you're facing Auckland City, you could be in flip-flops on the beach and you can still score against them, I think. Yeah, Kokchu's fine. You got the assist off the bench. I think he'll start as well. Sell Dumfries to Marquinhos or Palmer to Kvaratskhelia. Probably Dumfries to Marquinhos. I think Haaland will start in match day 2, yeah? You think playing Max Captain is worth it at all this game week? Yes, but I would rather use it in match day 6 or 7 for the reasons described earlier. Already transferred out Juan Martin Lopez and Dumfries to Pavlidis and Ryerson. Nice transfers. Is Ryerson a differential still in terms of sky and bonus? So 20 seconds apparently for the deadline. Let's lock in. Let's lock in. But I appreciate everyone enjoying the small. Oh my god, the fucking short video. I said I can't speak English. Would you prefer Koulibaly or Cancelo? Cancelo, I guess. Yeah. Best Madrid pick at the moment, Vinicius Jr. Defensively though, I'd take a punt on Fran Garcia. Malik says they added it like 2 hours ago. Jesus Christ, even that couldn't save me. Why does it show 1 hour left for me? Yeah, I already explained this before, but let me double check now. Let's see if the deadline has passed. If it hasn't, it's just an absolute joke, because that means this game is an absolute joke. So the deadline is still going on. Jesus Christ. You might be thinking, what's wrong, Dylan? You know, the deadline says 4. What's the problem? Yeah, whatever. Let's just keep going. I'm going to go live for another hour. Oh my god, I had a feeling this could happen as well. So let's change the timer. And I'm going to play that video again, that's for sure, because this game deserves it. It deserves all the abuse it gets. So yeah, let's put 4 PM now for the deadline. What an absolute joke this is. It's actually insane. So when I actually needed it, you know, I needed the extra hour, they just closed it prematurely. Like, what? Just for those that aren't aware, let me just say it one more time, because I'll try to move on from this, because I'm telling you, it's stupid. It's like if you're doing an exam and they're like, no, that's it. Your exam is only 1 hour, not 2 hour 15. So you're basically ending early. So in the rules section, it says the transfer deadline is at kickoff. So that would mean, in this case, 5 PM, right, in the UK. In the website and the app, it says 4 PM. But what they did in Matchday 1 was basically do it an hour even earlier. So it would have been at 3 PM. Basically, 1 minute ago, we wouldn't be able to make any transfers. So it is what it is. I've actually got like, for the thumbnails and stuff, what I'm doing is like buying random players in, and it's doing better than my normal team. Do you know how embarrassing that is? I'm going to make some changes there and salvage a decent rank in Club World Cup Fantasy, I guess. But usually, you know, in a game which actually matters like FPL, you can't do 2 accounts. Even for that sort of thing, you'd get banned. So don't do that. But yeah, let me wildcard here. Can I even show you? Let's see if I can quickly show you these changes. Yeah, maybe I can do that. But essentially what I'm doing is building this kind of wildcard squad. So something like this, basically. So let me just sort this out. I don't want to confuse myself with all these different screens. So this is the transfer section, like an updated wildcard sort of thing. So goalkeepers, I'm going to say Kobo and Armani, just adding them now in a separate browser. So defenders, let's make some changes. If the deadline does lock, though, let me know. That will be even funnier if it's like at 3:05 or something, like it's a school day. Jesus Christ. Okay, so Di Maria, I'm going to put Foden in here maybe. Let's see what I can muster. Di Maria, Elise, I'm going to add. Let's see what else. Arias, I like as a differential. Yeah. Not the best in terms of goal scoring, but at least he offers something a little bit different. Al-Dawsari. Salim Al-Dawsari. Yeah. Defensively, we're going to go for Marquinhos. Less than 5% ownership. That's really important. I'm going to go for Antonio Silva. Same thing. Yeah, Fran Garcia, another differential defender. Less than 5% ownership. And let's see what else we can get. So, yeah, I think Hakimi for now is fine. And the last defender, Francisco Maura, just because he's cheap and he plays on the 19th of June, aka today. Yep. And then up front, let's put Garassi, Pavlidis. I can't spell? Yeah, I can't spell. Pavlidis and Alvarez. Yeah. But wait, hang on. Hang on. I've got 2.4 in the bank. That's a lot of money. Yeah. I mean, that's where I can do Due in. Pause. I can bring Due in for Al-Dawsari. Then 0.2 million is needed. I mean, that could just be Hakimi to Nuno Mendes, I guess. Yeah, it's not really the end of the world if I do that. Or I bring in another differential defender So I can actually bring back Stanisic if I wanted to, or Jonathan Tah. But let me see if I can pick out somebody else. I'm not going to go for Trent, and I don't think I'm going to go for Cucurella, who was recommended earlier by somebody else. Yeah. I also want someone with a good fixture match day 3. So Juventus is kind of out of the question. Even Man City is a little bit not the best. I think Foden is worth a punt though for match day 2 if he actually starts. Yeah, the triple Benfica is a bit concerning though against Bayern. That final defender I think will be Joao Cancelo is decent to be fair. I actually don't mind Joao Cancelo against Salzburg and Pachuca. That's decent. Okay. Colwill, I think I'm going to avoid. Dortmund, already covered by Kobel. I'd rather avoid them defensively. Atletico Madrid with Lenormand. Facing Seattle Sounders and Botafogo. Not bad, but probably not what I'm looking for. So really when it comes down to it, I think I might just go for that. Yeah. Stanisic isn't too bad. Jonathan Tah. But I think I'm going to go... Yeah, Joao Cancelo, why not? Something a little bit different. 0.8 million in the bank though, so could still go for something else. If not Nuno Mendes. Yeah, not a differential, but 0.1 in the bank. That's a decent squad, I think, for the wild card. No premiums up front though, so no Haaland, no Kane. You might want to go for that. If you are in that sort of camp, then I would downgrade one of Nuno Mendes or Foden to make that possible. But let me know what you think of this wildcard team. Do you think it's better than my normal squad? Which, if I can bring it up on screen, so this yeah, fixtures. Okay, let me bring this up as well, just to compare them side by side. Let's see. Let's get them. I'm a bit OCD, I think, with all this. Look, I like to be a bit perfectionist. You're probably thinking, what the hell is this guy talking about? But there you go. I'm just trying to get them the exact same, whatever, that'll do. Otherwise, I'll be there all bloody day. So what you see on screen now is an updated wildcard team for match day 2. So Mbappe is hospitalized. I would not be going for him and risking it. You can still go for Haaland or Kane up front if you wish, but yeah, it does require some downgrades elsewhere. This is my current squad after buying Pavlidis and Di Maria. Do you think it's worth wildcarding? So I'd essentially be changing Sommer, also Svensson, Stanisic, Cambiasso, Gvardiol, Mastantuono, Kerem Aktoglu, and Haaland. So that's 8 changes actually, but some of those aren't necessarily better. For example, Haaland to Alvarez, is that an upgrade? I don't really see it that way. I think Haaland's the best option for the captaincy if he actually starts in match day 2. But yeah, just let me know what you think of the live chat. I'll probably put another poll out, even though I said last one, because guess what? The deadline is still going on. They just completely changed it from last time. So I don't get why they didn't say anything. You know, at least say, you know what? We made a mistake with the match day 1 deadline. It won't happen again. You know, just say something, mate. I know it's only a game, but come on. Like, some people do take it seriously. Not me, though. Not me, as you can tell. Yeah, you can probably tell. So yeah, Joao, your question was covered about Arda Güler. I'm tempted to pick Doku. Yeah, and also in match day 1, he was subbed off quite early. Yeah, Andrew, the deadline is still going on, so they changed it from last time. Dylan, is the captaincy still unlimited? Yes, unless they change it. The last fantasy for FIFA is the World Cup 4 years ago. Well, technically it was 3 years ago, right? And not even 3 years ago because it was a Winter World Cup, so we're in June of 2025. That took place in December of 2022 and also November, so it's not even been 3 years, mate, and they're still getting it wrong. Alberto Costa, I just don't like him for match day 3, but that's a good budget option. I like that for match day 2. It's just, if you're balancing both of them and you've got triple Benfica, you're going to have a lot of transfers to book for the final match day of the group stages. That's my only concern with Alberto Costa. I have 9.1 in the bank. Yeah, you'll probably score more points than me, to be fair. And on wildcard, fair enough. Yeah, I covered this earlier, mate. I don't think Ares is on pens, so last time I'm saying that. Guys, help me for Bet365 Fantasy. Who would you pick for captain? Just one player. Good question. It's either a Benfica attacker like Pavlidis or Di Maria, Haaland or Vinicius. My favourite is Haaland if he actually starts. Choose a number, 1 or 2. 1. Tah or Bowie? Bowie will not start, according to reports, so go for Jonathan Tah. When I look at percentages, Sanchez and Di Gregorio, I am looking at Matchday 1 where it says Matchday percentages both say 5%. Let me double check that. I mean, I want to see what the ownership is now. So, yeah, Di Gregorio is at 4.7. I'm not sure then. Maybe Robert Sanchez had 5.0000001 and Di Gregorio had 5.00000000005. So maybe that's why he qualified. It just seems a bit stupid then if they both had the same ownership figure and one qualified for Sky and bonus and the other didn't, but maybe they're rounding up by 5 or 6 or 7 decimal places. Who even knows at this point what they're doing? You almost made my team with this wildcard. Wow, okay, don't show off too much. Jesus Christ. Alvarez or Colomwani just for this game week? Alvarez. How does it look for Matchday 3? Well, there are some issues. That's the problem. So, by not wildcarding now, and having Di Maria, Karem, and Pavlidis, I can just wildcard and, you know, tackle the teams that, or load up on teams that still have something to play for in Matchday 3, and also trim down my Benfica players who face Bayern Munich. Whilst, with the wildcard squad now, you can get a great score this week, but there's also some issues, I think, for Matchday 3. So I'm kind of looking at it and I think, you know what, I just don't think it's worth it. Maybe what I'll do is take a hit. So a -3 hit and make one more transfer. What would you do in my situation in terms of making that additional transfer? With 0.7 in the bank, would you do something like Cambiasso to... Who can I even go for? Marquinhos? You know, that could be worth a -3 hit. Maybe you would say a midfield transfer like Mastantuono. I don't really think that's worth it though. I'll be honest, I think the squad isn't that bad if they actually bloody play. Thank you, Pep, you bold twat, for benching Gavardio and Haaland. But yeah, I think this team is not that bad. Just a bit of bad luck in Matchday 1, and with 2 transfers, it looks in a good position now for the upcoming deadline. So we'll wait and see. But I will have a water break, otherwise my voice will probably crack. Yeah, whilst I speak. So to avoid that, let me have a water break. Rolando dice, hola, ¿recomiendas alguno de Palmeiras? Tengo a Weverton, Pícares y Richard Ríos en el mediocampo. Saludos desde Bolivia. Gracias. Ese Richard Ríos es un pelotudo, pero no voy a hablar mucho de eso. Si ya tienes a Weverton, no creo que vale la pena hacer una doble defensa de Palmeiras. Quizás Estevao es un delantero, eso no me gusta mucho, pero cuesta 5.5 millones de dólares y ganó el mejor jugador en el primer partido, pero tampoco vale mucho en este juego porque en UCL Fantasy obtienes que 3 puntos para el mejor jugador de un partido y en este juego no pasa, pero sí, yo creo que es mejor mantener a Weverton y ya está. Si no, Pícares está bien, pero doble defensa de Palmeiras no creo que vale la pena. Alvarez or Mbappe? Mbappe's hospitalized, so just go for Alvarez, who's actually going to play. Anish, good to see you. Ustari, Otamendi, Nuno, Sula, Blanco, Xavier, or Javier, Kokchu, Elise, Ruiz, Arias, Foden, Haaland, Pavlidis, and Merentiel. Is that a wildcard team or what? If that's your normal team, then you did really well on Matchday 1, but yeah, a few question marks, I think, about Matchday 2 and 3, especially with Merentiel. I think he's not the best option despite the goal he scored in Matchday 1. So yeah, a few ifs and buts here, but overall it's a solid squad. I like Arias and Foden in there. Otamendi for Matchday 2. But Blanco and Merentiel, I mean, yeah, that looks decent for Matchday 3 against Auckland City, but not against Bayern München. I mistakenly took a -15 point transfer deduction. Yes, a wildcard would cancel all hits. Yeah. Is it okay to wildcard now? Well, yeah, it should be. Well, hang on. It depends on the context. If you want a wildcard for Matchday 2, then yes, the deadline is still not passed yet. This time, well done, FIFA. But in terms of Matchday 3, no. You would have to wait until after 4 p.m. in the UK. Me gustan las preguntas y respuestas en español. Sí, intento lo mejor que puedo, pero me cuesta un poquito porque en español tengo que pensar más en lo que estoy diciendo. En inglés puedo decir cualquier pavada y me sale del orto, pero sí, en español no me sale de la misma manera. Do you think Fran Garcia will play both match days 2 and 3? So long as Fela Mendy isn't available, yes, I think he will. Well, yeah, I get that with Tustapaki, so he is a bit of a risk anyway. But you could say the same thing about Di Maria, Kerem Aktürkoğlu, and many players in this game, unfortunately. Do you think it's a good time to use 12th man? Yes, it's a good time, but I'm not a big fan of Kerem as a 12-man option. But then again, I used it on Mbappe, so don't listen to me. I did cover this earlier. I'm just going to show it one more time because I don't want to repeat myself and, you know, just go for the same thing over and over. But let me just quickly show you the summary of the best time to use every single chip. You can see it on screen. 12th man, you could either say Matchday 3, but I'd say Matchday 2 is probably the best. Wildcard, I'm now looking at Matchday 3 instead. Mystery chip, when we find out what it actually is, I can give you a definitive Matchday there, but at the moment I'm saying Matchday 4 or 5. And Maximum Captain, my favourite time to use it is Matchday 7, then it's probably Matchday 6 for the semi-finals. But yeah, that is kind of my ranking of, you know, the best time to use every single one of them. Anish says who to bring in for Merentiel, 3.9 million in the bank. Okay. Well, I'd consider Alvarez or Guirassy then. Yeah. I mean, do you have Pavlidis? Let me double check. Because you put your message a few minutes ago and I've lost track of it. You've got Pavlidis, Haaland, and Merentiel. Okay, so one of Alvarez or Guirassy is my answer. No worries, Singh. Thank you very much. Alvarez or Pavlidis as a 12th man? Pavlidis, yeah. I would captain Pavlidis over Di Maria, football freak. Hugo Cipriano says, what do you think about Kokchu? Yeah, he's a good player. He was decent in UCL Fantasy, I think. Yeah, he's a decent option, but I wouldn't 12th man him, of course. But yeah, he's a good option. From those two, I would go for Pavlidis as your 12th man there. Scan Garbi. Do you think it's a good time to use 12th man? Yeah, covered that. Would you go for Gonzalo Garcia and Doué or Lautaro and Arias? For now, with Mbappe out of the picture, I would go for Gonzalo Garcia and Doué. But it's close. That's a good question. Something a little bit different. If PSG win against Botafogo, yeah, that's true. That is a good point. The same can happen for other teams that secure first. So, yeah, I think PSG could be in a strong position. I've got Pavlidis as my 4th man. I'm guessing 12th man. And also 4th Benfica player. Nice. Good question, Giuseppe. I'll be honest, when people ask me this about FPL and the mystery chip, I'll kind of refrain from guessing because it could be absolutely anything. But yeah, I don't think it'll be assistant manager. Could it be limitless? I mean, it could be, but I think it'll be something completely different. And honestly, I'd have to really think about it. Maybe after this deadline locks in, I can go for it. Guirassy, Lautaro, or Vinicius? Let me just go back to this screen. Let me know, by the way, if there's any lag or anything like that. I think with the heat as well, the technology can overheat itself. So, yeah, I'm touching my Mac Mini and it's absolutely boiling right now. So, yeah, I'll give the poor thing a break. There is no fan on these machines, so that doesn't really help too much. But to answer your bloody question, that's a good idea, isn't it? I would say Vinicius is my favourite for Matchday 2. He hasn't been good, though, in 2025, I have to be honest. Let's see what new questions we have. Kokchu 12th man. I'm not really feeling it as a 12th man, but as an option overall, yeah, fine. But I don't know. With 12th man, I'd rather go for a big hitter. Guirassy, Lautaro, or Vinicius. Yeah, covered that. Let's go for different ones. Foden as your 12th man. It is very risky. It could be like me, where I've completely fought with Mbappe because of a bit of bad luck. But in this case, it could just be Pep Roulette, which fucks you over. Yeah, I think Foden 12th man. Yeah, it's a good option, but you just need to hope that he starts. Would you go for Gonzalo Garcia and Doué? Covered. I honestly think Matchday 3 wildcard is much stronger. I get that. And to be honest, if my players actually start, then I think it's fine. It's just a question of that. ¿De dónde eres? ¿Que hablas español también? Mi familia es de Argentina, pero yo siempre viví en Inglaterra. No quería decir la ciudad por las dudas, pero sí, Argentina. Any news on Dumfries, Mbappe, and Stanisic? Stanisic should start. Mbappe's hospitalized, and Dumfries, we just don't know. We don't know. Barcola, Kvaratskhelia, or Barcola? What? You said Barcola twice, so I don't know who you're on about there, but yeah, Kvaratskhelia I think will start. Barcola, it's between him and Gonzalo Ramos up front. I would go for probably Rodrigo Mora, I think, over both match days. No worries there, Matt. so they've might have figured out the captaincy loophole and patched it for this game week. Yeah, that's a good point, Carlos. Maybe, but I don't know. I don't know. What I might do is just let others like find out for me on X, and if they actually patch it. Imagine that. Like, are we playing a video game where they're just doing patches? Update 1.09. Oh yeah, for FIFA Club World Cup Fantasy. It's just stupid. Like, what the hell? But you might make a very good point there. I might be very careful just in case and not captain Rodrigo Moura. I missed the best 12-man options. Oh god. Okay. Vinicius, Haaland, Pavlidis, Di Maria, basically. My favourite is Haaland if he actually starts. Willie, I can't really say for sure, but I think he does. Would you go a -4? It's a -3 in this game, Ratchet, not a -4. To get rid of Garassi or Kane for Alvarez? No, I wouldn't. No. Gonna captain Piqueres and then Mora, then 3rd, 4th, 5th. Yeah, good idea, Twisted. But as Carlos says, maybe they patched it. Maybe they have, like they did the deadline today. Jesus, I can't speak. Thank you, Anish, for the super chat. We have hit our goal of 5 chats of super. I like to say that. So no Chelsea players for match day 2. I don't really like them against Flamengo. I'm not saying Flamengo will win, but I think they can score and cause some problems there for Chelsea. So it's not really a great fixture, in my opinion. Thank you, Wasted Potential. I appreciate it. Vinicius or Alvarez, 12th man? Vinicius. Kane, Foden, Garassi, 12th man? I'd say Garassi from those 3, but it's close. With Foden, I just don't know if he's going to start or not. Yeah, Mbappe is out for match day 2. He is hospitalised. I'm not saying that to take the piss or diss him. He is in hospital. Ultimately 12th man. I mean, it's not a bad option, but not for me. You may as well cook an egg on it at the same time and save some energy. Yeah, that's a good point, but maybe not a great idea, I think. Things can go horribly wrong. Another goalkeeper with Fabio Fluminense on the wildcard. I'd say either Kobo or Armani. Yeah, Jacob, I don't skip questions on purpose. If I've answered something already, especially multiple times, then I will go to a different one. Yeah, but otherwise, no, I don't skip it on purpose. Would you take a second hit, -6 to get Antonio Silva in for Cucurella? No, it's not worth it in my opinion. If you use wildcard in match day 2, how many transfers would we get in match day 3? You get 2. I think world number 1 using players from South American teams who are unbeaten, I think. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they're still unbeaten. I mean, you don't really count Pachuca as South American. They are Central America. Some Bayern players with Colin Muani as 12th man. I mean, well done, but yeah, that's really random, in my opinion. Mastantuono or Arias? I prefer Arias. Who is the best defender to bring in 5.2 or below if wildcarding in match day 3? I don't think Costa is completely nailed, per se, but for match day 2, he should start, yeah. Now, could Juventus maybe rotate a little bit and then focus on that Man City game in match day 3? They could, and that's where Costa could be benched. But if they are playing their strongest team, I think Costa forms part of it with those 2 assists yesterday, or at 2 a.m. in the UK today. Yeah. Haaland as 12th man, yes or no? Yes, but it's risky. So back your gut. Don't blame me if it goes wrong, mate. It already did for me with Mbappe being hospitalised. Enzo start, yes. Di Maria or Actacoglu. Angel Di Maria. I just captain Pavlidis, not changing until or unless Pavlidis blanks. Fair enough. No Chelsea, they suck. Second that, Twister Parky. I absolutely agree. I'm captaining Ustari for today. I mean, you might as well. He got 14 points last match day, which is like a quarter of my bloody score of match day 1. Mahuri says, I own Di Maria, Kvaratskhelia, Elise, Foden. Who would you recommend as the 5th mid? Yeah, good options that you're saying there. Adeyemi, Conceição. There's also Julian Brandt. You might want to consider Arias as a differential. Due, Musiala, Mastantuono, Rodrigo Mora. Those are other options to consider. Enzo Fernandez, Palmer, Bellingham. I'd probably say Adeyemi. Good fixtures in match day 2 and 3. Yeah, Mbappe out. Yeah, thank you. The deadline should be at 4 now. Unless they've actually, you know... Imagine that, if it's still going on and it's at kickoff like it was originally supposed to be. Oh my god, I'd be here all day. Don't you think Benfica will rotate? Yeah, but also it's a great opportunity to get up the goal difference. And against Bayern, I think Benfica might not fancy themselves. So basically, they'll want to get the win on board against Auckland City and better Boca's goal difference, which what it could come down to finish second in the group and qualify for the round of 16. So, yeah, they could rotate, but I think they'll go relatively strong. Not a bad option, Hakimi as 12th man. That could definitely work. Not my favourite, but I've definitely heard worse. I would go for Di Maria for the upteenth time. Di Maria over Kerem Aktürkoğlu. In Español, yo prefiero Di Maria sobre Aktürkoğlu. Unfortunately, I don't speak more languages than that, but hopefully you got it this time. Aktürkoğlu, Di Maria. Yeah, Di Maria. And I would sell Belali. Who is the best defender to bring in? 5.2 or below if wildcarding in Matchday 3? So yeah, Alberto Costa I don't think is nailed. The answer to your other question, best defender at 5.2 or below, I think that can simply be answered with my wildcard team. And speaking of which, I'm going to wildcard in my other team where I do the thumbnails and stuff, just so I can get some good scores on the board, because that one's doing much better. It's actually had a good rank overall. But let me save that. Yeah, boy. Okay, let me sort out that team. Let's do the date. Rodrigo Mora, and then I'll answer your question. So Hakimi in the starting 11. Let's also bring off Elise. No, let's bring off Foden. Yeah. Captain Francisco Moura. And to be honest, I think I'll do that. I'll test it myself with my thumbnail account. That's what I'm going to call it, my thumbnail account. Yeah, so I'm going to captain Francisco Moura and see if they've patched the captaincy this time round. But yeah, that's the way I'm going to do it. In terms of... Right, so yeah, I'm going to captain Francisco Moura and then Alvarez today. And then I'll let you know for sure. Probably on X and Discord as well. If I'm still actually on my laptop and phone. So yeah, let's confirm that. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. And let's get the date right just in case. So Armani, Garcia, Foden and Al-Dawsari all play later in the match day. And yeah, I've got Francisco Moura as my first captain. Okay, that's looking good. Best defender at 5.2 and below. I think Fran Garcia is worth a punt from Real Madrid. Not necessarily the best, but good option overall, I think. So we have hit our Super Chat goal. That means I'm going to go on for a little bit longer beyond the deadline. So thank you to those that have tuned in. Like this video, subscribe, all that good stuff. And our aim is to get this to 200 likes. Thank you to those that have done so already. You can become a patron or member by clicking the join button on YouTube or going to patreon.com/FPL Dylan. You can also find me on X, Instagram, and Blue Sky by typing FPL Dylan or Dylan RCM. What I'm going to do as well, after answering this super chat, is shout out all the members and patrons in the building. But thank you once more to Anish. So he says, do you think Haaland is again a risk to start? A slight risk, yeah. I think Man City, they could rotate in multiple positions against Al Ain, but I think Haaland will start, and that's why he's my favourite 12th man or captaincy option per se. Ehab, I'm sorry to say this, mate, but you're literally spamming the chat. That's not going to work here, mate. Sorry. So, yeah, maybe in 5 minutes, you know, once you calm down a little bit, you can come back, ask your question once, and then, yeah, we can answer your question. But doing that, sorry, that's not going to work. If I did a -3 and then activate the wild card, would the -3 be cancelled? Yes. Do I captain Samu over Mora today? I'd captain him. Patch the captaincy is hilarious. Don't credit me with that. That was Carlos in the live chat. It was a great point by him because they patched the deadline. You know, it's not at 3 PM like it was last time, 2 hours before kickoff. It looks like it's going to be at 4 PM UK time in 32 minutes. Mbappe is out for matchday 2. It looks like it, yeah. He's hospitalized with illness. For the Benfica game, would you captain Pavlidis or Di Maria? I'd go for Di Maria. I'm not wildcarding, Jack. I literally just said it's my thumbnail account. That's what I use to make my thumbnails because it just looks better. With my normal team, it's just a non-wildcard squad. So what you see here is, yeah, just my average team after making transfers. And then here, and let's just do that. This is my normal squad. Let's also drop that down a little bit. There we go. Looks better. Looks bloody better, doesn't it? I think so. Yeah, I mean, spammers happen all the time, to be fair. No spamming, otherwise you'll get restricted for the rest of the stream. Exactly that, Godsent. In this case, I did timing up for 5 minutes. We'll see if he calms down. I'm going to play Pep Roulette. Good luck. I don't recommend roulette or any gambling, but if you want to do that, it's feast or famine, basically. Those are my 3 favorite City assets as well. It can go tits up, but you could say that about my team and Club World Cup Fantasy in general. Hope Pavlidis at least scores a hat-trick before subbed off at second half. Well, hopefully he plays 70+ minutes and gets a hat-trick, so best of both worlds. Will Nuno Mendes play? Yeah, I think so. Top player to consider on Wildcard Draft? Literally just covered that, mate. So, yeah, I'm just going to show you on screen. It's like a rough, updated Wildcard team. There's 1 or 2 things you can maybe tweak. For example, you could change Foden to a cheaper midfielder and then upgrade one of these forwards to Haaland or Harry Kane. You might even want to downgrade Nuno Mendes instead if you want to go about it that way. But yeah, to downgrade Foden, I mean, I don't mind Bellingham. That's not a downgrade, but that's another midfielder I think could be good for match days 2 and 3. Otherwise, you're probably looking at Julian Brand, maybe another Benfica asset for those that are using the 12th man. Obviously not applicable for the wild card. Mastan Duono, Rodrigo Mora, they're all worth considering. But yeah, Salim Al-Dawsari, I think is a good option. Let's guess Al-Dawsari here, Salim. And then 2.6 in the bank. So then you can just say Alvarez out, I guess, for Erling Haaland. I've actually got a mask of Erling Haaland. Do you want me to use it if he scores and actually plays for once? Yeah, that'd be a good idea. So yeah, that's something you could do as well. So this sort of wildcard team, if not, you go for Foden in for Al-Dawsari and Alvarez for Erling Haaland. It's a pretty decent team, I think. Another super chat in the building is by Benji, and he says, Brandt over Adeyemi. Yeah, Brandt has the scouting bonus. Now, Adeyemi's goal-scoring prospects are much higher, but Julian Brandt is the creator in that team, so he's always going to create chances, and if they actually add the points for key passes later on, you can get a decent number of points from Julian Brandt anyway. Crazy that people still think there aren't unlimited captains per match day, unless they patch it, but yeah, people just don't know. In my best wildcard team video, I said it in the introduction. I said it in my team selection in the introduction, and guess what? People in those videos were still commenting, can I change my captain more than once? I'm like, oh, I literally explained it, but it happens sometimes. I'm excited for this round. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm a little bit excited as well, just because it can't get any worse for me. It really can't. Or can it? Find out after the break. What do you know about the forward player, Canobio? To be honest, nothing. Nothing at all. Is Fabio a good option as a goalkeeper this week? Yeah, I think he's decent. Not my favourite, but he's a good option. Thank you, Rickfi. I'm watching you. Like and subscribe, guys. You will help a lot by doing so. Thank you very much. And he is right. I know sometimes you watch a video, you might be thinking, this guy's boring, or this guy's just chatting shit, but it does help. It really does. And throughout all my videos on live streams, not only do you get graphics and stats, but you also get, you know, opinions, you get a bit of banter, you get a bit of everything on this channel for Club World Cup Fantasy, FPL, and the Champions League. So thank you to those that have supported. And we are very close to 200 likes, and we've still got over 400 people watching, which I do appreciate. Similar numbers to the chaotic deadline stream of Matchday 1, where we went live until 1:22 AM, past my bedtime. I think Pavlidis will be second Kane. Maybe, but I think he'll score, to be honest, and I've already brought him in. I think Alvarez will feast on Seattle. I like Alvarez a lot. If I were to wildcard, I think I'll bring him in. Might not be a popular topic, but is there any Ashore injury updates? I did cover this, Tommy Raw, at the beginning of this video, so just one more time. Let's go through these different screens. I put a poll out about the wildcard versus no... Free transfers, I should say. The wildcard isn't that popular, it seems, based on the votes. 500 exactly. Nice. So yeah, 3 players will be out for Al Ahly, Tahir Mohamed, Koka, Nabil Koka, and Imam Ashur. For Bayern München, Sasha Bowie will not start a right back. It will be Lima, who is out of position in this game. Koke could start instead of Lino for Atletico Madrid. That means a 4 million starter there in the midfield. And Mbappe, well, he's hospitalized now, but basically Xabi Alonso said a few days ago, I don't know if Mbappe will be back for the next game. We'll see. He wasn't doing well the last 2 days. He is sick, and I'm sick of this game, but there you go. Once the lineup is out, I'll be covering them for Al Ahly and Palmeiras. Yeah, Palmeiras. And the other thing I want to show you is, well, the fixtures. For those that aren't aware, yeah, I got hay fever, that's one thing. But the other thing to really keep track of is the captaincy. So yes, if you captain, nosebleed, Palmeiras Al-Ahly, you can captain, let's say, Piqueres from Palmeiras. Then, from Inter Miami Porto, you can captain Messi. After that, you can then captain Alvarez. It has to... The way you do it is, you wait for the game to be done, and once the player becomes unlocked, so they won't be green on your screen, it will just be like yellow, I think. Their points have been counted, they've already played. You can then switch to captaincy and make subs. So then after Alvarez, let's say he blanks or you want even more points because you're greedy. You know, you just want more. Fair enough. PSG Botafogo, you can captain a PSG option. Then for Benfica, Auckland City, oh, I want Di Maria or Pavlidis if they actually start. So you captain one of them, then you can switch to a Chelsea player. You get the drill, okay? I'm not going to go for every single team again, but that's the way it works. You just captain a player from every single game until you get it right and you're happy with the captaincy score. Roll on the Premier League, says Juniper. Oh, I'll be honest, I don't miss the Premier League. I hate that competition, but yeah, I'll discuss it as always. Thank you, Tommy Raw. Yeah, Shaw is out. I sold him for Di Maria, and to fund it, I sold Harry Kane. So if he scores a brace or hat-trick, you're welcome. You're bloody welcome. No, I did not use the wild card. It's still a possibility, but quite slim, in my opinion. Should Palmer leave my team for a -3? Depends who you're buying, but I'd probably say no. If they think you're boring and they're still watching, that's a major skill issue. Yeah, that's true. Just got to click off the game or the stream. I removed captaincy from Ageoa. I need to... Oh, switch to others to do the experiment for me. Yeah, but I did it in Matchday 1. But guess what? It made it worse. I actually made it worse. I mean, how did it even go? Let's go quickly through my Matchday 1 team again. Let's all laugh together at my absolute noobness. Just look at this, sorry. Let me break it down once the subs also show up. So let's just let it play out. Just look at all the blanks and enjoy. Yes, I captain a player who got 0 points despite having multiple captaincy changes. That is bloody brilliant. Well done, Dylan. I mean, are you trying to get a low amount of points? If so, you're bloody amazing at this game, mate. Fantastic. Mbappe 12th man. Brilliant. You wasted a chip. Fantastic. So my first captain was Harry Kane. He blanked in a 10-0 win against Auckland City. Absolute twat. Absolute twat he is. Who did I captain next? I've lost count. Yeah, I think I captained Garassi next because Karem was benched, so there was no point even going to him anyway. So I captained Garassi after that, and then I captained Erling Haaland, and then I captained Cambiasso. I think that's the way it worked, basically. So yeah, it was just... Oh yeah, I captained Mastantuono as well. Yeah. Before I captained Haaland... Did I even captain Haaland? I don't think I did, because he was on the bench. But yeah, I captained Mastantuono. He blanked as well, but 3 points is better than 0, isn't it? Well, there you go. That's how I did in Matchday 1. Probably the worst I've ever had to any fantasy game. I usually start really strongly in Matchdays 1 and 2 at least. But this was, yeah, everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. I made 2 transfers though. A Shaw to Angel Di Maria, who's going to my team, Rosario Central, very soon. And also Kane to Pavlidis to fund that move. So, yeah, will Pavlidis blank? Probably. Will Kane score a brace? Yeah, he will. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Looking forward to it. And in terms of how my team looks like, you've seen it in the other screens, but you can see these fancy graphics, playing out. And that's how things are working. With the captaincy, one more time, I'm not going to captain Pavlidis. I'm not going to captain Di Maria to kick things off. Or Due, Elise. No, I'm not captaining any of them. Erling Haaland, he's on my bench, so I can't captain him. The first captain for me is going to be Francisco Moura. Yeah, you heard right. I'm captaining him because he plays first, and then I'll switch to whoever plays next. Hopefully they haven't patched it, because then that will basically cost me even more points, but can it get worse for me? Well, it can, but hopefully not. That'd be appreciated. Otherwise, I might just log off, delete this team, and go on holiday. I think that might be a great idea for all of us. If you haven't seen it already, these are the stats, odds, figures, and stuff like that. Top goal scorers of this competition. You've... just full of Bayern players. Musiala hat-trick, Elise, Coman, Müller, Conceição and Colomwani all scored braces, and everyone else basically got 1 or 0 goals in this competition. So next up are the goal scorer odds. Pavlidis is top. Score, please. Can you actually score? That'd be nice. Haaland is second. Actokoglu is third. Mbappe fourth. Bruma 5th, and Di Maria is 6th. I've got 4 of those players, all right? Or 3. Yeah, I've got 3 of them. 3, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4. Hopefully they do well for me. Hopefully. Kane is right up there. Same with Guirassy, who's also in my team. Dembele, who's injured at the moment. Mitrovic, Lautaro Martinez, Esposito, Vlahovic, Leandro, Alvarez, Kokchu, and Marmush. Yes, that is the list. With clean sheet odds, though, Benfica, Man City, Juventus, Fluminense, Inter Milan, PSG, Atletico Madrid, Bayern München, Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, Palmeiras, Los Angeles, Chelsea, River, that's how they say in Argentina, River, Porto, Al Hilal, and Monterrey. And by the way, I haven't taken any drugs, so yeah. Thank God I haven't. With the winner odds, you've got Real Madrid, Man City, PSG, Bayern, and let's not mention that team in 5th, because Oil Club. Boo, boo, no one likes Chelsea. Next up is the highest ownership. Mbappe, Hakimi, Kane, Dumfries, and Elise. This is all the assumption. Actually, no, that's another slide. Forget what I'm going to say. Just the highest owned players, but Mbappe will go down that table for sure. He is missing Matchday 2. Then you've got the highest ownership in every single position. So Summer remains the highest owned in goal, despite that blank in Matchday 1. For defenders, you've got Hakimi. Then you've got midfielders. I need to go a bit more differential, I think. And the forward line, Mbappe once again. Not a great week, I think, for the highest owned forwards there. Top differentials, though, who have 5% ownership or less. So Kerem, unfortunately, if I double check this, because I did this a few days ago, yeah, his ownership is over 5%, for fuck's sake, yeah. So I don't really have any scouting bonus players in my normal team. What a surprise. And then it's the same thing for every single position. Goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders, and forwards. I'll let it play out because I went through them earlier and also in my team selection podcast yesterday. So no real need to go through that again. So yeah, after the forwards, that is it. I think afterwards it's going to show predicted lineups and stuff. So no point going through that again. And let me just show you this really quickly. So all the teams, in case you don't know, who's playing in this tournament. Here are the power rankings. Auckland City are by far the worst team. PSG are number 1. And that's pretty much all you need to know. I've shown that multiple times as well. All the groups as well. The updated version with Club Lyon being replaced by Los Angeles. This is what you really want to look out for, though. The fixtures. The fixture difficulty rating for match days 2 and 3. Those of green are the ones you really want to pile up on, if possible. Now, some teams might have a great fixture now, like Juventus, Man City, and Benfica, but then a tough opponent in match day 3. So be very careful about that, especially on the wild card. But yeah, let's now go to my team now. Let's go to my team. We are closing in very soon with the deadline. Dylan, you sound like you're giving up on life today. To be honest, I just don't give a crap. Like, I'm just letting loose, And people say, oh, you're a robot. All this bloody crap that I'm hearing, especially in the last deadline stream. It made no sense, but whatever. People have their own opinions. Wildcard team, yes, Juan. I can show you the wildcard team again, but I've done that a few times. I'm not going to lie to you. I really have. So basically this. And if not, if you want, let's say Phil Foden, you can get rid of El Dalsody, go for Foden, and replace Erling Haaland with Julian Alvarez. Yeah. 0.1 in the bank. Looks pretty tasty. You've got some sky and bonus players. Looks pretty nice. That will score more points than my team for sure. I only captained Kane than Kelly, and you still got more points than me, so congratulations. Mine was worse. I captained Kane, Mbappe, then Asensio, who got a grand total of 0 points after giving away the penalty. Yeah, but I also captained Cambiasso, who got 0 points, so I didn't do better than that. How are we feeling on a Rodrigo 12-man punt? I like that, to be fair. That's pretty good. It's not my favourite. I think Vinicius is from Real Madrid, but because of the less than 5% ownership thing, the scouting bonus, that's pretty handy. I'm honestly not sure, Tommy Raw, but the report by Fabrice Hawkins a week ago was that Dembele would miss the entire group stages. Best Dumfries replacement, Hakimi, would be up there. Dembele spotted in individual training. Okay, but he might not start. I think either Gonzalo Ramos or Barcola will start up front with Kvaratskhelia on the left. Yeah, Lenormand is decent, but their defense against PSG was terrible. They just gifted goals to the Parisians. But against Seattle Saunders and Botafogo, it should be better. And they don't have Lenglet, the bot, in that defensive line. Yeah, I just covered that copyright. It's either Barcola or Gonzalo Ramos starting up front. I couldn't tell you exactly who. I think there'll be rotation there until Dembele is back. Do you think it will lock at 4 p.m. or tomorrow afternoon? Hopefully tomorrow afternoon, so I can, you know, make up for lost points and cheat and, you know, do a heel turn on this game. Griezmann or Alvarez for 12th man? Griezmann hasn't scored in 17 games. Now, I'm just saying that, just so you know. It's a stat, it's information. Sometimes people with the knowledge get fucked. I'm sorry, but that's how it is. Part of my French. I'm going to say Alvarez, but yeah, Griezmann might not even start the game. It could be Sorloth, who missed an open goal against PSG. So yeah, Alvarez for me over Griezmann. Poor Auckland City becoming our sacrifice for Pavlidis and Di Maria. Yeah, be careful. Don't count your chickens just yet, because maybe Di Maria and Pavlidis won't even start. So, can you do a robot? Give us a robot. No, I'd rather do like Scooby-Doo and these voices I can do, not just like a robot. That's kind of generic and boring. Hi, Dylan. Hello, Beardy. Thoughts around Savinho long-term? Look, I know you asked me about Pedro Neto, I think it was, and he scored. And look, yeah, well done. He finally scored a goal. He's got like 5 goals this season, but there are some players that long-term I just don't like, and Savio's one of them. Does he even start in match day 2 and 3? I don't think so. I think he'll be benched in one of them. So, as a forward as well, I'd avoid Savio. Yeah, Di Maria captain is fine, but just, champ boy, what you want to do is captain the player who starts first. So if you've got Alvarez, captain him first. He plays today. If not a Porto player, I captain my captain. I captain my coverage. I covered my captains. I covered the captaincy several times in this video. Yeah, believe it or not, even though I can't actually speak today. I blame the heat and also my brain and the lack of water. But yeah, the way the captaincy works is you just captain the player who plays first and then you switch it as many times as you like. So unfortunately, the captaincy questions, it's probably worth skipping because, yeah, it means nothing in this game. -12 or wildcard? I'd wildcard. When is the best for max captain? Match day 7. My captain was Elise by luck. Fair play. I wish I did that. That would have been a game changer for me. 20 points in match day 1. Well, to be honest, Gonzalo, it's hard to take this seriously when you had that deadline, you know, what happened in match day 1, and now it's actually working as intended. So, yeah, it is what it is, right? I covered that Miguel Costa. Just rewind a few minutes and you'll see the answer. Yeah, no, unlimited. Just keep changing it. That's all I can say. Captain Kane or Elise? Elise is more in form, you could say. I mean, Kane was banging in the goals before match day 1. I'm going to say Kane here. Best 12-man options for the upteenth time. I'm going to say Vinicius, Haaland, Pavlidis, Di Maria. There's always going to be some nice differential like Rodrigo as well. My favourite is Haaland if he starts. Do we believe Hakimi's going to play? Yeah, I think so. Otamendi or Dowell? Otamendi for me. Think Sorloth will start? It's not guaranteed, to be fair. Hi, Chelsea Blues. Surprised you even saying hi after all my Chelsea slander in this stream. I got 63, it's hardly good. Yeah, but I'd rather have that than what I've got, so it's still decent overall. Waking up with Di Gregorio Hall captaincy and scouting bonus. Yeah, I woke up to Cambiasso, yellow card, captain, and subbed off at 45 minutes, so it is different for all of us. Have you played Wildcard? Nope, I haven't. To be honest, I just have the feeling that if I played the Wildcard, I'll just ruin everything even more. Anish says, Llorente, I don't think is a good option because he can play right back a lot of games and he's a midfielder in this match, in this game. And yeah, he's not really worth 6.4 million in my opinion. Will he probably score? Yeah, probably. Peter Crouch style, yeah. I think he's got better moves than me though, to be fair. I have 2.3 million extra in my wildcard. Well, someone else said 9.1 million earlier. I had Ribeiro from Sundowns and I feel he is their main player. I think Reyners is their best option. He's been scoring all the goals recently up front. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Maybe English isn't your first language and stuff, so fair enough, but I literally covered it dozens of times. Just captain the player that plays next, and if they don't do well, just keep changing it. I don't know what else I can really say. Should I have Carem or Di Maria or both? I'd say Di Maria if he actually plays. Also, Kvaratskhelia or Doué. Doué, he's a bit cheaper. Haaland or Vinicius Jr.? Haaland, if he actually starts. -6 or wildcard, don't spam margin. Calm down. I would say wildcard. They might fix the captaincy thing too. Yeah, maybe, but it's just, that's just broken. And really, is it even worth talking about rank and stuff? Like, if that happens. It just causes an imbalance where, oh yeah, in match day 1, the deadline was 2 hours before, not 1 hour. Oh, in match day 2, there was 1 hour. Oh, the captaincy, yeah, you can change it so many times. Oh, no, now it's only once. So, yeah, that's just going to put people off. I hope this not happens in Game Week 1 of FPL in terms of point performance. It probably won't, to be fair. Well, let me not jinx it. Captain Pavlidis, Ottoman device, are you okay? What do you think? Am I okay? Yes. Is my team okay? No. Are you okay? You let me know. Is that okay? Yes, it is. But I already explained the captaincy and vice captaincy a lot, and I don't really want to go for it again, to be honest. You can captain a player who plays earlier than Benfica, so hopefully that helps you. T. Salama, yeah, I think I said it right, says 12th man on Alvarez, Vinicius, Haaland, Garassi, Pavlidis. I'd probably go for Vinicius personally, despite the lack of form. It's just the fixture and the explosiveness of Vinicius Jr. Alvarez is a great option, though. He is also up there in my captaincy and 12th man list. So, great question. I'm not completely settled on it, but yeah, I'd probably go for Vinicius Jr. Is Equipe, oh, I'm guessing that's L'Equipe, legit for PSG info? Yes, they are. It's the most reliable source, or second most reliable in France. There's also RMC Sport, which is where you've got Fabrice Hawkins, the journalist. Who is better to captain for today? My laptop and computer, everything is just freezing up, by the way. It's bloody heat. I blame the weather. I'm going to be like, what's that guy's name? I'm saying what's that guy? He's a Premier League legend. Laetitia. They are they're modifying the weather. And yet, my laptop just froze again. 9 minutes left until the deadline. Lock things in. Because now, for real, the deadline is actually going to lock in. And you'll see the video that plays when that happens. What about Messi? He's amazing. In Club World Cup Fantasy, I'm not so sure if he's on the level of Mbappe when he's available, maybe Haaland and Kane. But yeah, that's more so to do with the team he plays for. He's good, but not the best anymore. Who's better to captain for today? Maura or Ostari? Just captain Ostari, mate. And then you can change it to Maura. It's all covered in the stream and across all my videos. You can keep changing it, basically. Why no Haaland? It's just the wildcard team, and yeah, like I just said before, mate, it's like, I explained it already to someone else. You can just do Alvarez to Haaland and then switch Foden to Al-Dawsari or a cheap midfielder. It's just showing different variations of a wildcard team. It's up to you if you want to go for Haaland. If you want to, fair enough. If not, it's not really the end of the world. You got 1 point in match day 1 after all. 84 points match day 1, 12th man, was my captain, so not great. Yeah, sure, Mark, sure. On wildcard, Garassi or Vinicius? I would say Garassi on the wildcard for match days 2 and 3 overall. Garassi, Alvarez, or Lautaro for 12th man? I would say Alvarez for match day 12. Match day 12? Match day 2, 12th man. What about PSG rotation in match day 3? That is a possibility, but I'm not really concerned because I'm not wildcarding yet. I've not seen anything on Benfica. It's a great question, but I haven't seen anything. I think they'll go strong because against Boca Juniors in match day 3, I think Benfica will be happy with a draw, for example. And it's all about building that goal difference to finish second over Boca Juniors. Got Messi captain for today. Not feeling super optimistic. Remember, if you've got a Porto player, you can captain him as well. So you can have 2 or 3 captains today and then the same for tomorrow. I don't think so. It probably will be out in 7 minutes, but I'll double check that for you. Let's see if the FIFA website has that. Palmeiras and Al Ahly. I don't see their lineups yet. Maybe I'll check their individual Twitter pages. Do they even have a Twitter page? Maybe it'll be something in Portuguese. Palmeiras Twitter. Palmeiras official. Or maybe they've got SCP. SCP bullshit. Like SCP football. My Portuguese is not too bad, is it? That's all I can really say. Yeah, I can't see their Twitter. So in 7 minutes, I'll tell you their lineups. I have none of their players, to be honest. Anish says Haaland to Alvarez or Sorloth. I keep Haaland, to be honest. If you're wildcarding, I'm open to the idea of going to Alvarez and then using the extra funds to then buy Foden in the midfield or something of that ilk. But to be honest, I think with your question, I just keep Erling Haaland. I think he starts. Yeah, I've got no link though, Joao. So once I see it, I will go through it. Yeah. Aktoglu out with injury. Really? That's amazing. 1 second. Let me check this. If that's the case, then I'm going to take a -3 hit. If you've got a link to any news like Kerem Aktoglu or the Palmeiras lineup, let me know, because yeah, there might be some things happening now that I haven't seen, and I would appreciate those updates. Yeah, I just don't see Kerem Aktoglu. However you pronounce that. I can't pronounce some Turkish names, unfortunately. Where the hell is he? But yeah, Felipe said it, Portuguese name. I'm guessing you have that information. I'm not seeing anything about Kerem Aktoglu's injury. So yeah, it beats me. I can't see it. I don't want to take a -3 hit for nothing. But yeah, he was on the bench in match day 1, which was a bit surprising. Are Di Maria and Aktoglu nailed? No, especially in a fixture like Auckland City, where Benfica could play their C team and still win 4-5-0. But I think Di Maria, at least one of them will start. Joao says, is it out? I'll cover that when both of the lineups are out on the FIFA website. Currently, they're not. Best 3 from these players, I would say Fran Garcia, Alberto Costa, and I'm going to say Joao Mario. We have the PSG team sheet before the Game Week 3 deadline. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, are you sure? Are you sure? Because they might lock it in a bit, earlier, like they did in match day 1. Best 12th man besides Benfica players, Garassi, Vinicius, Haaland. I've covered that before. My favourite is Erling Haaland. Lineups are out on SofaScore. Are you sure? Because it sometimes says possible lineups, not confirmed. So let me check. Apparently it's confirmed, and for Palmeiras, it's Weverton, Guy, Argentinian, Gomez, Murillo, Piqueres, Rios, Moreno, Estevao, Veiga, Torres, and Roque. And for Al Ahly, El Shanawi, Ala, Ibrahim, Dari, Hani, Fatih, Atia. Jesus, my eyesight is absolutely terrible. Romdhain, probably completely butchered that. Zizou, who is the replacement for my buddy Ashur, Trezeguet, and Abu Ali. So no surprises there, really. I'm not sure why FIFA haven't updated their website. Maybe they have. No, they haven't. Typical. They can't do anything right on their website or the game. So we are close to 200 likes. Let's be sure to reach that milestone before the end of the stream, and subscribe if you haven't already. It's kind of like a chill stream. You're just enjoying Club World Cup Fantasy as much as possible, even if you're doing terribly, like yours truly. Should I take out who? Yeah, I'd say so, yeah. But it also depends who you can bring in. I think Antonio Silva will play, but with these Benfica players, a lot of them can be benched. They can be. I can't guarantee you with any of them. There is no news about Kerem out. Same. I haven't seen that. But yeah, thank you to those that have pointed out that the lineups are out. I covered that just now. I think most rotation for Benfica this match day is defence. Auckland City will not attack as much. Yeah, I think they will still try to go for as many goals as possible. It's really important, I think, in their group and the dynamics of it. Antonio Silva and Otamendi are 100% nailed. Okay? I like them for match day 2, but not necessarily for match day 3. And bloody hay fever, I hate it. From Morocco with love. Alvarez, Pavlidis, Vinicius. Yeah, great front line, and thank you very much. I think I've got a bloody, like a insect on my hair. I could just feel it. Anyway, yeah, I like that front line a lot for match day 2. Looks really, really good. No complaints, to be honest. I mean, there's other options like Kane and Haaland, but you can't have them all. Is it better to own Hakimi and Samu, or Marquinhos and Gonzalo Garcia? I'd rather have Hakimi and Samu, but it's a good question. We have the same points. I had 4 players that didn't play. Yeah, we're both doing terribly, but it's only match day 1, and honestly, who gives a fuck? I mean, after what they did in match day 1. I'm captaining Rodrigo Mora first. Yeah, good luck. Nothing could go wrong there, right? We'll see. Locking, guys. Yes, do things now. You only have 1 minute to change. Well, just have your captaincy set up and your substitutions. The most important thing is to have those playing on the 19th in your starting 11. And definitely from the game of Palmeiras and Al Ahly. Make all your transfers now. Otherwise, anything you do after 4 p.m. will be for match day 3. And that's where I'm planning to wildcard myself. So let me go back to my squad. This is my final team. I've basically not wildcarded despite having a horror show of a Matchday 1. So I've brought in Pavlidis and Di Maria, and my team comprises of Sommer, Francisco Maura, who is my first captain because he plays first in my team, Svensson, Stanisic, Mastantuono, Di Maria, Elise, Due, and Aktokoglu, Garassi and Pavlidis up front. And on my bench, I've got Armani, Cambiasso, Gavaggio, and Haaland. Yeah, we'll see. If they play, should do well. If not, who cares? That is how things look like. And if you sort out by date, you can see that Armani and Cambiasso play on the 22nd of June, whilst Haaland and Gavaggio play in the early hours of the 23rd of June as well. By the way, I'm fairly sure I changed the order on my bench, but it just reverted back to Cambiasso first. Not like it matters, but there you go. We are locked in. We are locked in. Francisco Maura is my first captain, and we'll find out very soon if they have patched the captaincy like they patched the deadline. If that's the case, I mean, wow. What more can we say about this brilliant game? But wait, did someone say the deadline has just passed? Or is that just me? Yes, the deadline has passed this time. Whoopie-doo. Whoopie bloody do. Because it has locked in officially. Everyone, round of applause for FIFA. Well done. They've actually got a deadline right. Even though in the how to play thing on the rules section it says kickoff, but well done. It's fantastic work. They've really come up trumps here. Fantastic FIFA. Well done. Best fantasy game I've played in years. Yeah, right. All right, so let's now just enjoy the show. I mean, we hit the super chat goal, so guess what? I'm still here. Yeah, absolutely amazing. Who's your vice captain? It doesn't matter, Gino. It doesn't matter because I'm going to keep changing the captain until I bloody want to. So my plan, if I can remember the exact order of things. So Francisco Maura is my first captain because he plays today at 8 against Inter Miami. Then afterwards, let's see. The next player I would have is from PSG Botafogo, so I would captain Due afterwards. Then it's between Pavlidis or Di Maria. Whoever starts, I will captain. From Chelsea Flamengo, I've got nobody. The same goes for the other game. For Bayern Munich Boca, I will captain Elise if needed. Then Garassi. Then no one. Then for the other game, definitely no one. I've got no one from Fluminense or Ulsan HD. For River Plate against Monterrey, I've got Mastantuono. Then for Juventus, I mean, dare I say I'll captain Cambiasso again for that bloody 0-pointer. And then, if needed, I've got no one from Madrid. Basically, Haaland or Gavaggio is my final shot at the captaincy. So that's the way things are looking like for me. My captaincy plan is set out there in full. But it really doesn't mean much unless they patch it after this deadline has gone. Is this a PS3 system or is this a bloody Club World Cup fantasy game? You tell me. You tell me. So, took a 3-point hit to add Otamendi, Pavlidis, and Vitinha. The Portuguese people are going to hate me now. For Dumfries, Palmer, and Agoa. Second, love from Morocco. Yeah, I like that 3-point hit, and I was considering one myself, but for me it was either wildcard or 2 free transfers. Good transfers, though, for you. I liked it. Yeah, really good stuff. I don't like River defenders. I'll be honest, I don't think they're worth 5.1 million. The only good thing is that they have less than 5% ownership, but in terms of value, I think Armani is much better. I think Calhanoglu is a sell. He's linked to Galatasaray, and he's currently got a small injury, which he picked up in the Champions League final against Paris Saint-Germain. How good is Miguel Merentiel from Boca Juniors? Already thinking of getting him for Matchday free. Well, I'll be honest, I don't think he's that good, but he faces the worst team in the entire competition in Matchday free. That's really what it comes down to. It's not like, oh, I'm unearthing a gem here. No, you're just picking a player who plays Auckland City. So I don't really rate him, to be honest. Goal M says locked. Wow, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Okay, nice. But I'm glad people enjoyed the video. You can actually see it again and again and again if you want on my channel. It's called How Club World Cup Fantasy Deadlines Actually Work. But maybe it's only for Matchday 1. And I've actually gotten comments saying, why are you taking this game so seriously? How do you watch that video and come to the conclusion that I'm taking this game so seriously? And then if I'm actually like try-harding, so to speak, and doing well, people are like, oh, you say, it doesn't count. What was your rank in FPL again? You can't win with the people. So yeah, thank you, Kevy, Moman, and Christian, and everyone else who has been tuning in. But yeah, the reception to the video, yeah. Finally, I made a decent video because the rest, the other 1,200 videos were bloody terrible. Yeah, they were. The AFCON ref, yeah. I even put him on the thumbnail of that video, which is, yeah, he's going to be like, what? Me? That 50 Cent meme is just like, what did I do? So yeah, game locked. Enjoy. Straight to wildcard free for me. Same here. Now that could also backfire because you can wildcard into a team that ends up being fully rotated anyway. Even if you put all the research, you're like, oh yeah, this team still has something to play for. Oh wait, they're still benching Foden or whatever it is. W for the deadline. Yeah, well done. To be honest, they should have just done it at kickoff. Jonic? And what am I? The Netherlands? No, I'm not from the Netherlands, but yeah, I don't know what they're doing. Good luck as well, Anish and Morpheus. Dylan just sold his soul like John Cena. Yeah, well, I wouldn't sell my soul, especially for this game. No chance. Not really related to Club World Cup, but have you looked at the Premier League fixtures? Yes, only Arsenal, though. That's the only thing I care about, and it looks amazing. Yeah, it does. But FPL, I'll be honest, I'm just like disconnecting from that a little bit. And very soon, I'll be doing graphics and preparing the foundations for next season. But yeah, the full focus now in terms of content is on Club World Cup Fantasy because people are still watching. Once that shifts a little bit, I'll go to FPL and then UCL Fantasy, which is the kind of main thing on this channel. So yeah, Tommy Raw, good to see you. And Laga, not locked, so is it a kickoff? Yeah, kickoff is still in 54 minutes time, but what we can do is go through the lineups on screen. So, oh wait, FIFA can't, wait, maybe they did have it up. Anyway, so for Palmeiras, they've got Weatherton in goal, Agustin Guiai, don't take away the I, even though, you know, respect to everyone. Gustavo Gomez, Piqueres, and Murillo. Moreno, Richard Rios, and Vega, with Vitor Roque, Torres, and Estevao. And for Al Ahly, we've got El Shanawi, Ibrahim, Dari, Hani, and Atiat Allah. Then we have Romdhain. Someone needs to tell me how to pronounce that. I mean, I'm just saying it like in a purely British way. Trezeguet, Fatih, Atia, and Zizou, with Abu Ali up front, who is still my favourite Al Ahly option, to be quite honest with you. But that's all that needs to be said. Both lineups are covered. Let's just talk about my amazing team again. So yeah, I am locked in. I made my transfers before the deadline. Well done, Dylan, and well done, Club World Cup Fantasy. When I go to Matchday 3, is Matchday 2 fixtures, this game is broken. Let me test that as well. So these are the fixtures for Matchday 2. Who cares? Yeah. I just have that ready in case I need to explain the captaincy once more. Let's see. I've lost count of how many tabs I've got open, and they all look the same, so I just don't know what is what. So I'm going to leave that there. Transfers, I'm not going to make any, so yeah, just forget about that. Let me refresh this page, and let's see if you are right. Yeah, you are correct. So for Matchday 3, they haven't updated it yet. So yeah, for Bayern Munich, it says Boca when it should be Benfica. You are correct. They haven't updated it yet. And that's an issue that people have been experiencing where they're trying to change the captain an unlimited number of times, but the player would still be locked. So they're not able to switch the captaincy because the player that they've captained is locked, if you catch my drift. So yeah, sometimes your window for changing captain might be just 20 minutes. That happened with me with Garassi, so be very careful about that. I went with Thiago Silva for this game week. Low ownership and decent fixtures, you can't really go wrong. Don't think I'd be playing FPL again. Oh, you don't think you'll be playing again? That's probably a good decision. I prefer UCL Fantasy as well. I know Ashur is injured. That was covered multiple times in this video, and he was a discussion point in my team selection podcast as well. I sold him to Angel Di Maria. Yeah, the transfers are done. I mean, to be fair, the deadline is supposed to be at 4, according to the website and the app, 4 PM in the UK. But yeah, many people clearly are lazy to read, asking some FAQs, go to the help section. Well, maybe you're right in some cases, mate, but let's not forget that the rules section is also kind of stupid. Some things they've said there hasn't actually happened in reality, like the captaincy, for example, and also with the deadlines, because if you base it off that, the deadline should be at 5 PM in the UK, so in 51 minutes at kickoff. That is not the case here. So yeah, Ryan, we are locked in, and Isias. Alberto Costa past 5%. Yeah, not surprised. Oh, he got 2 assists. He's 4 million. He faces Al Ain. Yeah, people just, you you know, chasing last week's points, but it's a good pick. I remove Isias. I mean, he's not wrong. I think I've read that wrong. I'm not sure which player you're on about. Maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe I'm a fraud. Captain Ostari, then Captain Lorente, Ruiz, Pavlidis, Elise, Arias, Haaland. Yeah, if they haven't patched the captaincy, it looks solid. Not a big fan of Lorente, but the other options look fairly decent. Well, you can't change your 12th man now anyway, but the best 12th man for Matchday 2 would be between Haaland, Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, I think is pretty decent, Elise, Kane, Pavlidis, Di Maria. My favourite overall is Haaland. Is Haaland worth being a 12th man? Yes. Love from Sweden, thank you very much. So was the last deadline just an error? Well, yes, it was, and they said nothing about it. You know, nothing was done to compensate those that were still locking in their team. And as I guessed at the time, they would just be like, well, you had like 2 weeks to make your team. But yeah, if a deadline's at 12 a.m. in the UK, it's at 12 a.m., not 11 p.m. But there you go. I hope I have enough money for Dumfries if he is out for this match day. Was thinking to take another -3 for him to Nuno Mendes, but decided not to. Yeah, I get that. I do like Nuno Mendes, but is it worth a -3? Maybe from the perspective that Dumfries could be out, but if he isn't, then you might be like, well, is it really worth it? The leaderboard has reset and everyone now has nothing. You're surely joking. I mean, that benefits me because I was doing terribly, but no, you're lying. Surely not. Let me double check because this game is that bad. We're actually like making jokes or, you know, these little things about, oh, they've done this, by the way. Yeah, let me double check that. Let's fact check these things before releasing it to the public. Yeah, something the government don't do. Oh wait, what did Dylan say? Channel terminated. Leaderboard. I think you're right. I think you're actually right. At the moment, at least, everything is blank. Oh my god. It doesn't even say that. Well, let's go to the how to play section again. We're going to keep going to this in every single matchday deadline stream. So look, this is my mini league. Let's refresh this. Oh wait, it's all done. Oh, oh no, people are going to be fuming as well. But wait, no, you just saw it by matchday 1. So really, rank doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm ranked #1 in the world, like Arsenal top of the league, based on alphabetical order. Your time is up. My time is now. Come on, John Cena. This game is ridiculous. Like, if you have it like separate, like an FPL challenge where you've got like a match day 1, 2, 3, you know, top of each match day, and you've also got like the overall, that's good. Oh dear, it's a fun fantasy game, right? Just have fun with it. Yeah. You know what I'm gonna do in match day 7? If I finish in like the top 1k or something, I'm gonna shamelessly say that. I'm joking. Don't brag about your Club World Cup fantasy rank, please, especially after this. Thank you for pointing that out, though. I actually wasn't gonna find out. I might actually delete this game right now. Just have fun, you know. Just relax. I'm totally not saying that because I did terribly in match day 1. Just relax. It's the summer, brother. What's that? What's that, brother? That video is stuck in my head, and I don't know why. The voice is annoying, but yeah, I can do it apparently. Dylan, just curious, do you watch rugby? No. I wish I could give a better answer, but I only watch football, tennis when Federer was there, and F1. That's pretty much it. Basketball, you know, with the Olympics mainly. My Maurizio is benched. Which Maurizio are you on about? Sorry? I should be knowing this, but yeah. I've kind of switched off from Club World Cup Fantasy because of the deadlines, the leaderboards resetting, and whatever is going to happen next. Let me actually check. I'll get this for you. One check. I mean, you know who you got, but Mauricio must be from Palmeiras, right? Oh yeah. Number 18, Mauricio. He's not someone I've recommended, and he wasn't in my predicted lineups video from the start, to be honest. Oddly enough, I think Palmeiras is one of the teams I've gotten quite, you know, spot on, you could say. What chip was used to reset the league? The mystery chip. I was going to play the deadline video again, but now let's stop. I've already done it twice. Yeah, I don't see any ranks. So rank means F4. Yeah. And to be honest, I said that anyway. Like, I always want to do well. I'll be honest, I'm quite competitive. Like, I always want to be #1, even though I never am in fantasy games, but let's not talk about that. But yeah, like, I'll be honest, after that deadline closed prematurely in match day 1, like I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Like I literally didn't care. So when I saw Haaland bench and Gavardio, I was like in the park and I was like, oh well. I just changed to Cambiasso. And then I woke up, I see 0 points. Whatever. Alan Partridge meme. Don't care. 12th man, Otamendi or Di Maria. Di Maria. Even the leagues have reset. It's crazy. Well, can you be top of the league in match day 2? Find out after this match day's over. Oh man, it's true. It's damn true. Wait, who says that? How do I not know this? Is it Kurt Angle? I think it's Kurt Angle. Wait, it's damn true. Let me just make sure. Yes, it's Kurt Angle. Yeah. Come on, one of the best wrestlers of all time. Hopefully you don't start singing "You Suck" to me. Okay, let's keep things civil. We still have 250 people watching. Thank you. Nice. I mean, it's a hot day in the UK. Shouldn't you be outside? Touch grass. I'm kind of brain rotted, I think, from all these soundboards and memes and shit like that from the internet. It's time to take a break. So do I start Captain of Story now? That is a good point, to be fair. Let me go back to my team and make sure, yeah. Let me make sure I've captained somebody else. That's a great idea. So, I don't want to waste the captaincy on Francisco Maura, to be honest. So, yeah, you know, I'm going to let people just discover it for themselves. And even though it means nothing, yeah. Does it really matter? I've got a second account for the thumbnails anyway, so that could do it. Yeah, who cares? So, Alicia. Alicia is going to be my captain? No. Pavlidis Di Maria. Yeah, this is not looking good. Let's put Pavlidis captain for now. If not Di Maria. I can always change the captaincy to Francisco Maura later anyway. Yeah, everything is back, even on the squad screen. Okay, no, I think that's probably all done, right? Leaderboards have reset. Oh! Okay, so they haven't gone back. We got high energy than before GTA 6. Well, yeah, because I need to beat the... Well, I almost said something else. I need to beat the robot allegations and the AI stuff. Like, explain how in the Matchday 1 deadline stream, when I was, you know, being myself, I was, you know, showing more passion and personality. People were calling me a robot. Yeah, in the other videos, I'm like, Haaland has 32.7% ownership, and yeah, Saka has 42.7%. Like, people were just like saying nothing. Maybe they're just used to it. This is diabolical from FIFA. My God, I'm not complaining though. I just don't care. I don't care. I mean, the only bad thing for me is it means if I make more videos and live streams, people lose interest, so that means fewer views. Man, you know, that impacts me. It really, really impacts me emotionally. Is it fun? It is fun, and I've learned a lot more about teams by playing this game. Yeah. Look, my only issue is the deadlines. Like, just get it right. Like, if you say something in the rules, be consistent. Like, I don't want to complain about a fantasy game. I honestly don't care. Like, people always say with FPL, like, what would you do to change it? And I give ideas, but I honestly don't really care. Like, you know, I just play it. It's simple. There you go. But I think after this, people will appreciate FPL more. But my favorite will always be use your fantasy. Big up. Nobody knows. Says, crap. Is this the first time FIFA have a fantasy football game? No. I covered the World Cup a few years ago. And they didn't have issues with leaderboards resetting or deadlines and whatever. Marquinhos came at 4.9%, so he's still eligible. Yeah, nice. And I did recommend Marquinhos in my Wildcard squad just now. Now, I mean, the dude said the game was shite, but he is right. Yeah. Jack says, oh my days. Nobody knows says, just had a peep, shake my head, and I scored 109 points. Shake my head. On the plus side, I spent 12 points, so I guess that's free now. It means nothing, yeah. It's just your matchday 2 score. But it literally doesn't say in the rules, oh yeah, we're doing it matchday by matchday. And speaking of which, let's go now to the rules. Are there rules in this game? Not really. Who cares? Who bloody cares at this point? So yeah, that is how to play. Yes, well, I'm going to leave. That was my wildcard squad for matchday 3. I've left it because it doesn't matter now. I'm going to close all the other tabs, so I've covered it. Sasha Bowie will probably not start. It will be Lima. Mbappe is hospitalized. He'll probably miss matchday 2. Makes sense, right? You can't play football whilst in hospital. And the other one is Shaw is out injured. But of course, we saw the lineups anyway for all the teams. So Let's go all the way to the bottom and let's read this. I might zoom in for a little bit because my eyesight is terrible, and also for the sake of your sight. Yeah, let's not burn our eyesights at a young age. That's a great idea. So let's read this out. Let me just drink a bit of water. Yes, it's not vodka. Okay. So nice. Okay, so once your team has been saved, it will automatically be entered in the overall leaderboard, where you can see where you stand against others. The overall leaderboard includes all other users who have entered a team. You'll also be able to see your ranking within a single match day. Okay, so that makes sense. Just for context, let's go to the league, which is here. Let's see here. So as you can see, match day 1, match day 2. That's fair, right? But if I put all, it's all reset. They have made a mistake there, quite clearly. Rankings are based on the total number of points your team earns during that match day. And it's simple. In addition, you'll compete on the below leaderboards based on your supporting club. Well, luckily for me, or unluckily, I support Arsenal, and we need to win some continental tournaments or win some trophies to actually qualify for this absolutely amazing cup. So club support leaderboard, users are ranked based on their fantasy points and compete directly against others who support the same club. Okay, whatever. You can also view the standings of other clubs, but will only appear in the leaderboard of the club you selected. But basically, what you've read there is that you've got a separate ranking for each match day and overall. But what they've done is reset the overall rankings, unless it's just a glitch and it will be back up in a little bit. But yeah, maybe I won't have, you know, like in my top left-hand corner and stuff, I show my rank and stuff. I mean, I'll just put no one cares or just some funny message. It's just not worth it at this point. But yeah, mini leagues, let's see what it says there. You can create and join an unlimited number of public or private mini leagues over the duration of the Club World Cup. Creating a public league means this will be openly available for all users to join. Okay, whatever. Creating a private league means that others can join this league if you share the league information with them. So like a code or an auto-join link. So that's what you can see in the description. You can still join, by the way, and win match day 2. But just like FIFA, there are no prizes for winning my league or the match day within the league. But yeah. Let's now go back up to the deadline, just for those that... Yeah, one more time. Because I'm just pointing out the fact that a lot of the rules in this just haven't actually translated to reality. So it says here, this was before the Matchday 1 deadline, you can make unlimited changes to your team up until the first match of the Club World Cup kicks off at 8 PM local time on Saturday the 14th of June. So basically in the UK, the equivalent would have been 1 AM at kickoff. And on the website and the app, it said 12 AM. And in reality, it was 2 hours before, so it was 11 PM. So yeah, that was kind of annoying. It is what it is. But this time we've got a normal deadline. Let's see if we get normal captaincy. Obviously, that was covered a few times as well. But essentially, in match day 1, you could keep changing it multiple times within the same day. And I've had enough about talking about rules and mentioning the deadline and stuff like that. I just want people to be aware of this. But yeah, it's fun. The game is what it is. It's got some good ideas, especially the scouting bonus. But there are some major issues, and people will appreciate FPL for sure. Maybe that was the point of this game. FPL like bribed FIFA and they're like, look, can you like make this game as bad as possible or as chaotic as you can, just so people can actually like our game and stop complaining? Maybe. You never know what happens behind the scenes. But let's get off this dumb screen, and I'm going to zoom out as well because yeah, we've got some other stuff to show you. Do I? Probably not, because the deadline's locked. Yes, we are locked indeed. I'm going to go through your questions. We're going to have some fun. There are still people here. It's a sunny day in England. Wow. We have sun here? Apparently we do. There is an all option which shows no scores. Yeah, match day 1 which shows scores and match day 2 which obviously has now. Yeah, exactly. Benji says, okay, dead game. Oh, well, see you, Benji. I don't think I'll see you again for the other deadline streams, unfortunately. I'm here to be angry at FIFA site coder. Oh, I thought you were going to say shite. Same thing. The whole infinite captaincy ruined it for me. For me, if I'm honest, the deadline did. Then the captaincy thing was like, oh, really? And this is the final nail in the coffin, I think. Or maybe in my case, it's like Resurrection. And if you actually listen to the intro song before I went live, the song is called Resurrection. It's my time. Yeah. I think it's updating like FPL. Yeah, maybe it is. I'm just taking the piss, to be fair. But we'll see. We'll find out very soon. let's go live until the site supposedly updates and the ranks are back. But yeah, for me, it actually benefits me if the rank isn't back, because I had a stinker in Matchday 1. It was literally everything that could go wrong went wrong. From illnesses to injuries to whatever you want to say. Twisted Parky says, cretins. What a waste of time, says Tommy Raw. Wow. Probably ranks will be properly reset after the first game starts. Oh, as in they will go back to... Yeah, we'll see. Perfect picture, says Twisted Parky. Oh, nice to see you two making friends. Nice. Vodka it was. Wow. Mate, if I was drinking vodka, I would probably be sleepy. I wouldn't be speaking right now. Dylan, you are killing me today. Do you watch rugby? No. Well, I'm just being honest. Like, I'm not just going to be like, oh, yeah, that is a really good question. And by the way, like 15 years ago, I'm not going to bullshit. Like, I don't like rugby, I'll be honest. I think I went to a sports bar when there was the final. But I was there for football, and that just happened to be on at the same time. Do you think Stanisic will play? Yes, and I hope he does. He does qualify for the scouting bonus, so please, can I have some luck? Yes, Kurt Angle. Great wrestler. You can change your captain in unlimited times. Well, you could in Matchday 1, but like Carlos said in the chat, because they fixed the deadline, maybe they fixed the captaincy too. And they've also fixed the leaderboards because I'm no longer, in such a bad rank. No worries, they try to fix it. It will active when the game starts. Well, we'll see. Maybe you're right, but maybe you're wrong, and it's just gone forever. But I will have a look and keep you posted. At the moment, the leaderboards are completely vanished from the game. My prediction is that they will come back up, but honestly, with FIFA, nothing would surprise me at this point. Last week deadline going 2 hours early. Now leaderboards reset. Matchday 3 not updated, and Matchday 2 fixtures just saying what a game to behold. Yeah, they didn't really test this, and the game was released quite late. I kept, people were asking me in my FPL and UCL fantasy streams, will you cover Club World Cup fantasy? And I was like, well, maybe, because I might take a break from fantasy games this summer and just recharge a little bit. I also had some stuff going on in June, but yeah, I ended up covering it. But the fact it was released so late as well, I don't know, something was a bit off from the beginning, but I didn't expect this. Do you think it's worth taking minus points because it's just -3 per player, but everything is points more? I'd say yes, especially if rank isn't a thing. So you just kind of go aggressive, have fun with it, go for the best team every single match day, and there you go. Thank you, Zane5287. Following you for a few years, I think this is a really true fantasy game. Well, yeah. In some ways, depends how you look at it. It is fun. I mean, that's the kind of point of it, but yeah, there's just some really bad things about this game that puts people off. The fantasy format is really good, though. I really like the subsystem a lot. So do I. But they do have sometimes some issues with players being locked. So once the game is finished, yeah, it takes a while for them to be unlocked. Or how do I say this? Yeah, unlocked. Well, basically, they've already played, but they're no longer in a game in progress, so you're able to change the captaincy and make subs. To be honest, the sarcasm will keep us watching. It depends. I mean, compared to the Matchday 1 and 2 deadline streams, I mean, it typically, viewership goes down. That's natural, but with this BS, yeah, it's going to be a big downfall. Wanted to have Picares in my wildcard instead of Maura. Oh, got locked out last minute. Hope this doesn't bite. Yeah, it probably won't, especially if rank isn't a thing. There is a drop-down menu for leaderboard, all Matchday 1 and 2. I think all will work when Matchday 2 starts. Yeah, maybe. Maybe not. This stream is pretty funny. Did they give the robot the humor chip? Wow. Yeah, they give me the update. Oh, Jesus Christ. You see, like, I'm a tired Arsenal fan as well. Mate, supporting Arsenal for even just a few years is it's going to lower your life expectancy, and being a fan for just 20 years... Wow, I mean, the stress is unbelievable. That's why I try not to really care about it in June. Of all the transfer talk, I'm disconnected from that. When the season starts, I'll be there. My hopes will be raised. They'll be let down. It's just Arsenal. Easy says, FP already do this fantasy since early 2004, so they know how to do this. Yeah, and they started off with newspapers and stuff like that, right? Then obviously moved to the internet, but I only discovered it a few years ago. Before that, I didn't know it existed. I still don't see any ranks. Yeah, we might have to wait a while. Maybe forever. I think when the game starts, the leaderboard will come back. That's my guess as well, but we will wait and see. My rank is there, 88,000. Oh, wow, 161. Oh, that's a shame. I wanted to hide my rank. But yeah, I'm not going to do that if the ranks are actually there. Wait, your rank is there? What do you mean? Because, yeah, no, at the moment, I don't see the leaderboards. Yeah, it's all gone tits up. Wait a second. Okay, there is a glitch now. Something else has happened in this game where I'm on a leaderboard and it shows only Matchday and overall. So it doesn't say Matchday 1 and 2. It just has one that says Matchday, if you catch my drift. So I don't know what they've done with the code, but it's like flexible. It keeps changing. Who knows at this point? They tried to refresh the game. It became normal back when Palmeiras versus Al Ahly start. You seem very confident, but I wouldn't have that much faith in FIFA. I know, Twister Parky, it's a good joke, to be fair. Maybe you're right. Jack says, all right. I captain Messi. Who should I vice captain? Elise, Due, or Ribeiro? Says Oamara. I would say... Well, yeah, vice captain doesn't matter if you keep changing your captain, to be fair, but I'd say Elise is my next favourite after that. I'm assuming it will update as soon as the minus points are taken off. Yeah, maybe. It's still funny, yeah, for sure. Do you think that it's worth taking minus points because it's just -3 per player? Yes. Depends on the context, of course, but I think it can be worth it. But everything is points more, and there are bonuses and scouting bonus. But also shorter format. There are different, pros and cons there, but there you go. I'm getting data vibes. We're all losing our sanity with this game. I'll be honest, I don't care. I just find it fun. It's calculating points ranks with hits. That's a logical explanation, but I just don't really have faith in FIFA. Nah, Dylan, I'll always be at your deadline to support you, my guy. I appreciate that, but maybe FIFA isn't worth it. I got 81 points. Do you, though, Andy? We'll see if that actually counts in the end. Damn, it says so. Swedish source that Mbappe is suffering by inflammation in the stomach and intestinal, or intestine, I'm guessing that is, and that it could lead to bad stomach ache, diarrhea, and fever. Oh, it's just him? I thought I had that as well, a few days ago, based on this game. They effed up so hard when you captain Dumfries and hope Elise gets the armband, even the rules say otherwise. Yeah, but I don't think that works if you change the captain or made subs. But who knows at this point? Kevy says, oh, friends! Yeah, in between his reference, and my voice cracked big time there. Which teams to target in Gimmick 3, do you think? A lot depends on, those that have something to play for, but I would say PSG would be up there. I still like Bayern Munich. I would say Borussia Dortmund, Atletico Madrid. Boca, just because they're facing Auckland City. Chelsea. I think Chelsea would be up there, unfortunately. Best captain for today. Remember, you can captain multiple times unless they've patched it. But if I had to just pick one, Messi, I guess. I knew he was in the hospital, but I didn't know it was like that. Yeah, sounds pretty serious. And I 12-manned captain. Well, 12-man captain? I 12-manned him. Pause. They update the text. During a live match day, you can change your captain an unlimited number of times, as long as the new selected captain is yet to play. Yeah, what a shock. Yeah. They're trying to... They think they're sly and smooth. They're not catching us out. What is wrong with the leaderboard? Apparently, it's reset. But maybe it's because they're counting the deductions from the points hits that people have taken. Imagine Matchday 1, 87k to Matchday 2, number 1. That will be me. You can see your rank from my team. What? I don't know what you're saying. Gimmick 1 overall at this stage of the competition. I think that's because I told you I played it when on a newspaper. Well, yeah, and also the internet wasn't really a big thing until 2007, maybe. My rank has come back on the squad screen, but not on the leaderboard. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, it's probably that then. So it hasn't been reset, unfortunately for me. So maybe only we can see our stuff, but not everyone else. Yeah. I think the ranks are there. For example, my thumbnail account is actually much higher than my current one. That's insane. If I play Elise vice captain, will I be able to change him as my captain after Messi played? I don't think so. Yeah, so if you got Elise vice captain and Messi captain, then you want to switch the captaincy to Elise. All you have to do is pick a different vice captain, and that will give you the ability to captain Elise, because you can't vice captain and captain of the same player. Hopefully that makes sense. I think this FIFA site doesn't get proper unit testing by whoever developed it. Oh yeah, that's quite clear now after what's happened over the last week. Maybe the game was hacked by the deep state. Maybe the security isn't that great, to be fair. Who would you captain for PSG? From those three, it would be Hakimi. I do like Doué, though, in Matchday 2, if he actually starts and does his thing. The best thing for you is to get money from the stream. Well, the best thing is to have fun with it. The money is, obviously, it's nice when it comes about, but yeah, from this stream, I'm not going to earn, like, it won't be enough to, how do I say this, ease the pain or undo the damage and the trauma from this amazing fantasy game. Click on my team, look up, you would see your total points and rank. I get that. Omar says, unable to activate the wildcard. I had network issues, so my team is Williams, Dumfries, Hakimi, Otavio, Antonio Silva, Ribeiro, Doué, Elise, Mastantuono, Messi, Jackson, Di Gregorio, Cambiaso, Al-Dawsari, and Mbappe. Yeah, great squad overall, but Mbappe will miss match day 2. He's in hospital, he's got a serious condition, an illness, so hopefully he recovers soon, but apart from that, you've got a good squad. Currently on 20k rank. Yeah, that's a good rank, and I wish I had 77 points. See you all. Thanks for the live stream once again. Always appreciate. Have to take a run. Now enjoy it, and with this weather, I might have to touch grass. Yeah, that's a good idea. FIFA and their dodginess changing the rules, taking bribes. Yeah, maybe they're not doing too well themselves, so they're just making it up as they go along. I have no lineup for Benfica, and they play tomorrow, so don't expect any information until the early hours of Friday morning. Ended up doing a -6. However, W team, Trubin, Hakimi, Maura, Marquinhos, Elise, Di Maria, Lucas Ribeiro, Kvaratskhelia, Wissam Abu Ali, Alvarez, Suarez, Sommer, Ryerson, Cambiaso, and Salim Al-Dawsari with Pavlidis 12th man. I like it a lot. There could be some issues in matchday 3 with rotation and a lot of Benfica players facing Bayern Munich, but I do like it for the most part. I think my only concern, would be Suarez, and yeah, the front line, I know it's good. I just prefer others like Garassi, also Haaland still, Harry Kane, etc. But looks really solid overall, and it should score a lot of points in match day 2 at least. So all the best, Josh, and to everyone else watching. We did get a normal deadline, so to speak, but the ranks and stuff have been reset on the leaderboard section anyway. So we'll see how that goes. I think we're still getting some of the same questions I've answered throughout. What do you think of the Real Madrid penalty yesterday? Was it another dodgy decision for Madrid? I think so. In my mini league, nobody has points. It looks like everything is reset. 59 points before FPL starts. What do you want FPL to add and remove? I'd like ball recoveries to be a thing, but they're not going to do it. The simplicity of FPL is good, to be fair, and to cater to the mainstream and to make it the most popular fantasy game of all, I don't think they'll change too much, but I think a new chip would be nice to refresh that a little bit. How many times can you change the armband? Unlimited, as I mentioned before, but it didn't benefit me because I got 0 points from Cambiaso in the end. Some of them want FPL challenge removed. I mean, it's just a bit of fun, just like this game. You know, you don't take it too seriously. Messi captain, Ribeiro vice captain, so I can change my captain later from Messi to Doué to Elise. Yeah, makes sense. But number 1 rank, 180 points or something. Well, doesn't matter, mate, because the leaderboards are reset. Haha. Yeah, well, they'll probably be back anyway, but I'm just having a little bit of fun with it at the moment. So if you haven't already, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, and all that good stuff. You can also be notified of all my uploads and live streams by hitting that notification bell, and check all the links in the description. Also share it, of course, that would be greatly appreciated. But go to my X, Instagram, and Blue Sky, Dylan RCM. You can also find me by typing FPL Dylan, and wow, I've been live for more than 3 hours once again. So yeah, these Club World Cup fantasy deadlines are a bit like a marathon. Now watch, the next time I go live, if I do for matchday 3, I'll go 2 hours live before the deadline. So yeah, watch them now, lock in an hour early. So then I'll be like, wow, basically I can't get it right with the way I time my starts and all that good stuff. But there you go. It is what it is. There is my Patreon and the channel memberships in the description. You can also click the join button on YouTube. And before I go, let me give a big shout out to the members and patrons. So we'll start off with the YouTube members here. So John G has been a member for 43 months, and the more you are a member for, of course, your badge will be updated. And I think the badges are pretty cool, by the way, so be sure to check it out. Also, I have to give a shout out to Gabriel Fernandez, Alex Leadham, George Popescu, That Air, Cat78681, aka Keith, Ulysses United, Simon Spears, Jazabi, Gabriel R, Miguel Mario 8, Ahmed, Richard Milichip, OK, Unruly DMV, Ben Stewart, Aman Devar, Rishi Anecha, Anish Krishnan, Bestie D, Dom Bruwan, Paredes, who gifted 50 memberships in the previous deadline stream, which I do appreciate. Also to Ahmed Arafat, Yanis, Julian, Miguel MJ, FPL Rohits, JM Rock, GT75, Casual Yogi Stuff, Peter M, JD, FPL Confused Bowen, Twitch TV for Fun, I think that is, or TTV, Christian Delgadillo, Aswi Moita, Sadiq Al Lawati, Dwight Schrute, nice name, Dwight Schrute, Jakub, also to Baraf, ADS, Sushant, Marius H, to Dylan, big up to Dylan as well, Bilal Rafiq, Osama Abdullah, William Pritchard, Lobby724 Oliver, Zodiac, NEQUUU, Lager, Michael Scott, what is it, Michael Scott? And also Dwight Schrute, okay. Anmol Prasad, Runak Rai, ARJ Nair, Amelia Austin, Karem, hopefully Artakoglu, does well for me. Josh, Seven Murphy, Yeah1298, Marcin, and yes, I'm still going on by the way, Diogo Varandas, Matthew Allen, Sean Fong, Olivetti, Tomer, Nathan Boomer, FPO Lauren, Derek Kacheri, Rasmus Norlander, Inank Gulfdan, Crispy, Matthew Kroll, CW, Tawanda Evans Chatwa, if I haven't butchered that, I probably have, Tiger Vorapani, Riva Sports, Rishab, Scott Very, Toby Wajula, Shrey Kana, Kent Theo, Matthew Duncan, Adit Reddy, Benjamin, Daniel Gianni, Kensman Lance, Tobogo, Mashapa, also to Feleni, and the last one is DHDH, and it just keeps on going on, DHDHD, HD, DH, DHD. There you go. So those are all the members, and we've also got patrons as well. So yeah, big up to all of you. I appreciate all the support. The same goes to subscribers, commenters, and those that participate in the live chats too. So there are a lot of members on Patreon, but these are the oldest ones. Let me just get them up as well. Jesus, at this point, I don't know how to work all these different sites. So if I can get this up, that'd be bloody nice. But yeah, I'm just gonna big up everyone and then call it a day, because I have been going live for a few hours, answering repeat questions, answering also some interesting ones, of course, and yeah, locking in our squads. I didn't wildcard this time out, but the plan is to do so in Matchday 3. So let's see if I can get it. Yes. So yeah, also to Chad Vogler, Aldo Victoria, Stephen Reed, Matt Steen, Alex Orlov, Luis Alexander Perella, and Rodrigo Urias. Big up to all of you. We have over 100 members and patrons overall, so big up to everyone. Wanted to add Barcola, but the deadline hit, he might start. Yeah, he could. It's between him and Gonzalo Ramos, to be fair. I like to add 12th man in FPL. Yeah, but it's not really a powerful booster. I mean, I wish I used it well, but yeah, it's not really that amazing. Can you explain how to do the captaincy hug? Wow, really? You're going to say explain better? I mean, I've done it multiple times, so sorry if I can't explain it amazing every bloody time. Okay, so, Jesus Christ. I'm never going to end this stream, am I? I'm just going to do it very quickly, so yeah. First game, Palmeiras Al Ahly. If you have a player from that game, just captain whoever you want. After that game is done and the player is no longer locked because their game is no longer taking place, you can then switch the captaincy to someone from Inter Miami or Porto and just repeat the process with every single game where you have a player featuring in. It's that simple. I can't really make it that much clearer, but essentially you can change it multiple times within the same day. Thanks, I might do a wildcard next week due to rotations. I chose Suarez because of the MLS stats and under 5% ownership. Yeah, that's true. And Suarez could outscore Messi, to be fair. However, after watching the first half of the Inter-Miami game, he was questionable. To be fair, my whole squad is questionable, so I can't really talk about Suarez or your other picks. Do you think Auckland will qualify in the fantasy game? No. Before you go, yeah, I already covered that, whatever. Benji says, what were your thoughts on the new Champions League format now it's done? There are some good things about it, but there are some obvious drawbacks. I mean, PSG won the whole thing, and they lost 5 games. I'm sorry, but if you lose 5 games in a tournament and win it, come on, mate. Yes, they were the best team in the end, especially in the knockout stages, but they were terrible in the league phase, and I don't know. I think there are some issues with it, but it was something good. I mean, in terms of content, it means more videos, more deadlines and stuff like that, so it benefits me, but I don't know. It's not perfect. I mean, it's a refreshing system. I think there were some great games this year, but I don't know. I mean, there are some issues as well. I just think them losing 5 games and winning it is a bit like, ugh, but whatever. Take care, Dylan. Entertaining as usual. Thank you very much, Godsend. It's hard to wildcard due to potential rotation. Yes, the wildcard can help you navigate rotation, but you can also get things wrong on the wildcard and feel like you've wasted it. But we'll see how it goes. I want to keep FPL Challenge. I did well. Nice. I did well too, but not to that level, of course. Yeah, I'd keep it as well. Thank you, Dylan. Good luck, man. Thank you, Mina. Does this mean they fixed the captaincy trick? It's possible. It is possible. So maybe it's worth trying it on a second account first before, you know, playing around with it. But they did fix the deadlines. Thank you, Ahmed. Good luck as well. Yeah, you might need it on the wildcard. It's a very powerful booster. You don't want to waste it. Thank you, Josh. Very kind of you. Stay safe all in this crazy world. It definitely is a crazy world. And this is a crazy fantasy game. Thank you, Diana. Oh, Diana, sorry. You are the teacher in this fantasy game, and we are the students. Well, yeah, a lot of the students, though, are getting better ranks than the so-called teacher. But I think I am better at giving advice and, you know, compiling stats and information than I am at actually performing and following my own advice. I was taking the piss of Auckland. Oh, yeah. Right. I get what you're saying. New format, Champions League, more good than old format, more chaos and less lame. Yeah, I mean, look, Arsenal did well in the Champions League overall, so I'd be inclined to agree with you. I just think there are drawbacks which people might not mention, like the 5 losses from Paris Saint-Germain, yet winning the whole thing, but that also adds to the chaos and the unpredictability of the format as well. Yeah, sorry, DRT, no, I literally just did it, and I don't know how many times I'm going to do it in this stream, so just you got to watch that video again, or you know what, go to my best wildcard team for Matchday 2 or my team selection videos, watch the intro. It's only a couple of minutes and I explain the deadlines and the captaincy, and that builds upon my how to play guide, so that's the best thing you can do. Otherwise I'm going to be like a parrot repeating myself. You're going to be like, can you do it one more time? No, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. So yeah, thank you everyone. It has been a blast, and yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Hopefully the points reflect that and we can enjoy some high scores. But yeah, if the captaincy hasn't been patched, then Rodrigo Moura or Maura will be my first captain, and then we'll go on from there. But they might have changed it since the deadline has been fixed, and yeah, there we go. Should be fun. It should be a lot of bloody fun. So if you haven't already, you know the drill. Like the stream, subscribe, and share it. Hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. And you can also see my social media links in the description, like my Patreon, the Championships Discord server, Club World Cup Fantasy League, Spotify, X, Instagram, and Blue Sky. All of that is there. I'll see you very soon for more Club World Cup Fantasy content. Hopefully, there'll be another deadline stream for Matchday 3 if people still want to see it, but I don't blame you if you have lost interest. It's like Spurs 17th place and win Europa. Yeah, look, Europa is better than a lot of trophies, but I think it's a little bit overrated. The main thing about it is that you qualify for the Champions League. But yeah, that says a lot, by the way, if Spurs are 17th and they win the Europa. But I rest my case. No worries, DRT, and GBS says go. Thanks. Okay, well, see you soon. And take care, enjoy the football, and enjoy the summer if you are in the UK or in Europe having this little heat wave. And keep your eyes peeled for more Club World Cup fantasy content like the best wildcard team and my team selection.